man says, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
The sun rose in the east this morning, as it always does, but today is not a normal day. Roll into the Megaplex, my preferred exit, the exit that I always take. This morning was blocked and sent me on a 7-8 minute detour. And that inconvenience, in some ways, symbolic. Our road to fan nirvana blocked, as often is the case. Welcome in to the Tuesday edition of the Huddle, a historic edition of the Huddle. The first day of the post-Giannis era is upon us here in the good land. I'm Drew Olson, joined by Bill Schmid and Armen Sarian. And boys, about 11 o'clock last night, we got the word that we've all been dreading. Miami's the winner. Giannis is heading to South Beach.
And just like Drew's arrival at work this morning, it was a slight detour to get just a little more south than we already knew you were going. This is it feels rather anticlimactic at the end of it because it feels like this has been the destination that has been kind of written for the last number of months as Shams enjoys his victory lap since 13 months or whatever so ago. When Giannis made it sound and made it known to everybody that he was not going to re-sign a Supermax extension on October 1st, that he was going to move on somewhere. And apparently it's South Beach, and he'll be able to keep the 34. And Drew, he's not like a lot of other Wisconsinites. There was this boyish charm and the Buddy DL feel where you could say, that 7-foot giant Adonis-looking young man, kind of like us. Eats Oreos with his kid at night before they put him to bed. Hangs out and wants to be as close to his family as possible. We love that. And also, once we potentially retire, we want to go down to Florida. Now, I understand he's got a lot of good basketball left in him, but this is a tough one, Drew, because you can't sell me, at least, on the fact that this is a move to go win titles. This won't suffice as a winning titles move because that looks like the South Beach Bucks that he's going to go join down there in Miami.
Yeah, Giannis and Bobby for a pretty good return of players and picks that may be expanded as we move forward. The draft is tonight. The draft's a whole lot more interesting now than it would have been had Giannis still been. Yeah. When was the last time the draft was interesting for the Bucks? Are you ready for the stat of the day? I mean, I was thinking of this again as I had extra time on my drive in.
A shout out to those
detour.
Workers. Come on,
come on! Give a brother a heads up, man. Tell me when I get to Oklahoma.
Throw one of those nice little stanchions. Yes, just give us a little bit of one of those.
Like it's just blocked. Like, come on.
Hey, by the way,
I guess it's a good thing I wasn't running late this morning. I was actually ahead of schedule, but not because of the detour.
I was gonna say you still beat me in.
Just the irony overwhelms me though.
It does.
I mean, it really does.
The road was blocked, and I'm like, oh boy. All right, so I'm flashing back, and we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary because of the COVID thing and the finals, the magical run, the Deer District, Bucks and 6, the legacy, the crowning achievement of Giannis's time, the greatest, most glorious stretch of Giannis's time in Milwaukee, which is always historic and always going to be remembered fondly. I was thinking back to that, and I thought, man, if I'd have told myself that in less than 5 years, Giannis would be gone and the Bucks would have 0 more titles, I would have thought, oh, that can't be. There's no way. Mm-hmm. We always say on the show, 90% of being a fan is getting kicked in the nuts.
Yep, squarely and
that's
direct.
What this is. Now, here's the thing, though. As pointed out by the fellow named Kellen Olson, no relation.
Okay. What acclaimed.
As of this morning, Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns, Booker, chicken winging, the part of the Valley-oop, is now the only player from the 2021 finals, still with the team that he was with in the finals within 5 years. Both teams have completely turned over.
I think it's hard to believe, but it's, I guess,
reflective. Of 2 teams in the finals 5 years ago that you thought were young and poised for greatness, within 5 years, only 1 player is left. That's unbelievable.
Just shows you how quickly change happens and how constant it is. I mean, that's the only thing consistent.
Which, if you want to be a cockeyed optimist, and Giannis, Armen's going to go through his feelings today. We're all going to go through our feelings. We're all going to share our memories. We're all going to dump the bucket. But you have to ask the question intellectually, as sad as today is, are the Bucks closer to a title than they were 48 hours ago? In theory, They very well could be.
Yeah.
Keeping Giannis. And who wins the title first? Will the Bucks or the Heat win a title? Who gets to the top of the mountain first? It's easy to say the Heat, and they would be the favorite. In fact, they went from 30-1 to 18-1 in the course of about 5 minutes after Giannis was traded.
I'll book that. You want to bet the Miami Heat to win the title? Let me take that money off.
I'll take the no bet on that.
Yeah,
if they offer
yeah, but I don't know that the Heat. We'll see how they reconstruct their backcourt, which is now decimated. But you can,
and they'll find ways.
You can root. I mean, and now the question is, what do you do intellectually? Do you cheer for Giannis? You're a Giannis fan forever. You're loyal to the Bucks. We're loyal to our city. You're loyal to the jersey, but you love the player, and you always do, the player that left. So it is a kind of the mixed emotions.
Very.
But where do you? I mean, are you going to root against Giannis? Do you want Giannis to win a title in South Beach the way LeBron did with the Heatles? Like, do you want him to fail and not win? Are you rooting against the Heat? The Heat has been a sleeper rival of the Bucks.
I was just going to say one of the
everybody
key
who hated the Celtics idea. The Heat has kicked more sand in their face recently than anybody.
Yeah, 100%. The two biggest foes, Drew, that Giannis fought. I mean, you could throw the Raptors in there, no doubt, but the two biggest baddest wolves standing in your way had been the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics for his 13 years in Milwaukee, and to see him rocking that jersey will be tough. And so that's the good part, Drew. I can still cheer against the Miami Heat, which I have enjoyed that for a long time.
Easy.
I've done that for a long time, ever since, Pat Riley felt like it was his decision that, we're going to start stealing cookies. We're going to start taking cookies off these planes. Ron James going to bring cookies every single night. You know what? You don't deserve no cookies. I'm taking them right off. So I'm excited for whenever Giannis gets his Pat Riley moment, because it will happen very, very soon. And this is one of those groups and one of those logos and brands that I just have not enjoyed for a long, long time. So it's pretty easy for me. It won't be anything personal, but I wish nothing but the worst for the Miami Heat going forward. I hope Giannis has phenomenal games. I hope he has phenomenal time and enjoys all the tax-free write-offs that he's going to possibly get and all the cash that he's rolling into, because you're going to roll into big money. South Beach is exploding right now. The amount of tech companies that are moving from Silicon Valley down to Miami right now. It is a good time to live in South Beach. He's got a bunch of money to invest, and I assume he is going to tenfold a lot of different investments
I don't think
that are rolling over this next couple of years.
That's part
so
of his
I
plan.
wish a lot of personal success for him, but absolutely zero on the court success.
And he's had it, and he'll continue to have it. I believe that too, but not as hard as it would have been if he was in Celtics green, though, I got to say. I mean, this was probably the worst two options you could have given me in terms of, like, what do I want to see him in the least? And it would have been like, if we're going to trade him, when this idea of trading him was just a nightmare and in the back of your mind, you always said, well, if it happens, I hope it's something like Sacramento or Portland or something that's out of my face. But if he's going to date the girl you see every day and the one you've always been your nemesis, or date the guy, I should say, I guess that's wrong. Celtics would have been worse. So at least I can take a little solace in that. But I'll echo Billy's sentiments here, in that it won't be hard for me to cheer against the Heat at all, because it never is. It's never hard to cheer against the Heat to not win.
True.
Not personal to Giannis. He's going to have good years, I expect, as long as he stays healthy. He'll do what he always does, and I expect greatness from him. But I don't think I want to see them lift a Larry O'Brien trophy down there. That's for sure. I don't want to see him hoist it there. Hopefully his crowning achievement of his career, team achievement, will always be with the Bucks. That's the goal now, is just to make sure the legacy maintains. I don't want history to remember him doing anything greater than what he did already. And that's a selfish move by me, maybe, but that's the reality. And I don't know. I guess I can't say I'm that worried about it. When I see Davion Mitchell is supposed to scare me, I don't see it. But this is a gutted Heat team right now. So that's kind of what Horst's goal was all along. He mentioned that, like, if we're going to trade him, we're going to try and gut the team that does it. And time for reflection, time for all those emotional processing, but also a time to look at now and say, what do you do if you're the Bucks? Are you going to move forward with these picks? Are you going to trade, keep the players? What are you going to do?
And we don't know, the Bucks are going to reveal more of their thinking this evening,
right,
as the draft rolls around.
And this might not be done, right? July 6th is the ratification of this.
They might not be done for sure. They could probably still flip Tyler Hero for something, for more
Yeah, but Chris Haynes did say Tyler Hero has always dreamed of coming home.
Well, yeah.
So come on now, let's go back to
And
Greenfield. Come on
let's
now.
go. Whitnall's finest.
He wanted to make it back.
Fox,
He made it out.
listen, Foxwood Crossing's got some good houses up for sale right now. You can move right on in back.
You think
by
that's I think he's surpassed that, man.
So
I think those are great houses. I mean,
if the
park,
if the
I love
Bucks,
the area, Billy, you know me.
Yeah, if the Bucks, where Tyler Hero's headed for like
you don't think
University Club or Kilbourne Towers?
He's
not staying at Falcon Glen.
No, he's headed for double D's at Highway 100, man. He's gonna go have a beer and hang out with the rest of us. He's going to Bosch.
So the Miami Heat, they're all fired up to have Bam Adebayo. Well, didn't he score 83?
Yes. Yep. That one happened. Yeah.
And Bobby Portis across the front line. They're shaky in the front court. If the Bucks retain their current alignment, they would counter Bam, Giannis, and Bobby Portis with the younger maybe group of Miles Turner, Khalil Ware, Jericho Sims, and Ousmane Dieng.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know who I like.
Throwing a lot of fouls at you.
Yeah, we got a lot of ways to be able to hack through them.
I don't think that compares, obviously, but where's an interesting piece? All these pieces are interesting.
Well, they have a 22-year-old 7-footer. I don't hate that.
No, I don't.
With skill, decent. I don't hate that.
And Yakachunas was apparently the Hugo Gonzalez hang-up that Boston had. They didn't want to throw in last year's first-round pick. Yakachunas was last year's 20th overall pick from Illinois, young player. You don't know what the Lithuanian could possibly become, but there's a lot. And I'll be honest, Drew, I guess I was unfamiliar with Jaime Jaque's game. I didn't realize he was averaging 15 a night.
Yeah,
he got buckets.
He got a decent amount. So like they got some nice I can't say high-end rotation players. This team was in the 9-10 game last year, right? Like they were in the play-in game for a reason.
Yeah.
But you got some.
You also got
interesting players here that
KPJ
running through.
Ryan Rollins, KPJ
coming off a great year.
So again,
that assumes
and as hard as it is, it's like, that's a bummer. Are the Bucks better? The roster better than it was? Hard to say no.
Yes, and to your original question, Drew, like where you ask who's going to win a title, and I guess I would say it this way: I don't know either of them win one in the next 5 or 6 years. I don't know that anyone wins in this term. Miami is always going to be the easier destination there.
True.
But 2031 and 2033, who knows where we'll all be.
Well,
but the Bucks will have 2 unprotected first-round picks.
That's the thing, because it was inside of 5 years ago that the Bucks and Suns were both rolling. They look like wagons, and now one player is left. Both teams have had 2 coaches since then.
And one was our old coach.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's kind of crazy.
So
but that's the reality.
You put that in that's like being in the washer, and it's like, okay. And it does seem dark, and we've been through this before. And then you get into the whole existential. Which one stung you more? The departure of, Paul Molitor, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. People still pissed at Craig Counsell.
Yeah, Craig Counsell, Prince Fielder. That one still hurt me.
Prince Fielder.
Yes.
Well, CeCe, you knew.
Zach
Greinke, you knew. But this one is different. This one is Giannis's stamp on the city will remain forever. And we saw him at his best. There might be greater athletes and there might be more accomplished athletes in terms of championships and stuff, but there will never be like monumental to the franchise because the Bucks were pretty bad. They had that long playoff drought.
Really bad. Yes.
We were wondering if we were worthy of having an NBA franchise, whether the ownership, whether the new arena would get built. We got that all thanks to Giannis in large part because he's kind of like in that way, he's like the Ron Wolf, Brett Favre of the Bucks.
I think that's the best.
Right?
Yeah,
the
best comparison.
The pivotal player. So that his legacy will never be different, and we'll never have. We might have like more accomplished, more winning, more standout athletes. We'll never have an athlete with a better story.
No doubt.
We will never have that.
We will not have another player active, Drew, that has a Disney movie made about him.
Probably
right. Like, I mean, that is, it was
a story of Greece, and he was selling stuff with his brothers on the streets.
It's a next level story. And it was one that we all saw happen in real time. And the other part that I do struggle with, and I wonder goes forward or how it goes forward is the family dynamic that he's always wanted there. I don't see Pat Riley signing Thanasis, right? Like, so there's going to be a heck of a change for a lot of teams and a lot of people. And I think there's going to be a massive shift in how you see this if you're one of the Antetokounmpos. But he was so a part of the city. And I said it yesterday. I guess I should have fact checked myself. I don't believe there will be any other active player that has a mural of him in a visiting city. Yeah. And that one ain't coming down, nor should it, even with what happened yesterday. But his mark on the team and that group, Drew, he got him out of the catchphrase 2000s, right? The our team, our town, the B Milwaukee. Own the future. We got out of all of those because Giannis came here and they ended up drafting some random kid out of the crowd.
And that's a good way to look at it. And as I reflect on it, it's sad because it's a portion of your life as well as a fan as that's over, as well as an experience you thoroughly enjoyed that transformed this fan base, that transformed the city, that transformed the team, obviously. And I think because there was that extra special piece, and it was there with Favre, of the connection to the people and the connection to the story that you brought up. I mean, we could have, when a skinny, unknown 18-year-old stepped off that plane from Athens, that we could have not ever known or predicted the seismic shift it would have in this fan base, in this team, in this organization. Many people thought the Bucks would be gone by now. The hope really was in Jabari. And more than Giannis. Giannis was a curious piece. There was maybe a lottery ticket hopefulness to him, but a lot of people thought Jabari was the one that might be the known quantity to turn this franchise around. And nobody knew what was to come. And he was the living embodiment of what we believe ourselves to be in this market, right? The hard work, the grittiness, the absolute out of the mud, dream to reach heights through your own will, force, and dedication to craft and work. And I don't think there's, to your point, Drew, Billy, it's going to be hard for anything else to replace that. So you move forward now, but you had that reflection of what was. And I think that's the sadness for a lot of people, because for me, I don't know if every Bucks fan is like this, but for me, there was stages of that dream. And that was, when you drafted him, the unknown, that he first started to become a great player, that he kind of realized that potential to become a great player, winning MVPs. You knew he was going to be a cornerstone of the franchise. Then to translate that to team success, and the dream of winning an NBA championship was finally realized after the heartbreak of the Raptor series in 2018, the heartbreak of the COVID season ending in the bubble. And then the final part of that dream for a lot of fans, I think, at least for me, was that he would be a Buck forever. And that's the last one that wasn't realized. But that's the reality of the way the tenure was meant to go, I suppose. And it's just surreal a little bit that it's over, but I think we were all kind of understanding and ready for it the last calendar year, that this was the logical conclusion that it was going to eventually come to. Well, I think there were some of us still hoping in the back of their mind there might be a twist and a turn and some sort of surprise, that it might not end this way. But that last glimmer of hope, I think, was during the trade deadline last year, when he tweeted that video of Wolf of Wall Street, and you're like, oh, maybe we'll never break up. Maybe we'll be together forever. We're never, ever getting back together.
Yeah, you like playing that one.
But I think now we're never, ever getting back together. And that's the reality. And you move forward and you have memories.
That's another good one, Armen, on my, on the list of things today. What song best summarizes your feelings
That's
today?
A great question.
Armen, I knew Armen would be bumping around with End of the Road.
Yes.
Here's to the Night by Eve 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
Goodbye to you.
Goodbye to you.
Goodbye to everything that I knew.
Thanks for the memories.
But Billy, I sense from you maybe a little bit, maybe we can get into this as we go forward. It's not as rosy of a reflective tone for you, maybe. Like, you know what? Let's not let him skate all the way on this. Like,
100%.
He had a lot to do with the way this story ended, obviously.
Hey, put 3 teams down. Now, again, I don't say it with like a massive malicious intent. Is that fair?
Makes sense.
Like, Giannis and his representation, if you, which I do believe the reporting that Sean, that might have been the worst one to say. I believe the reporting that he had last night on the full story, where him and his representation since May of last year came through and informed them that he wanted to be out, was not going to sign an extension. So that's over 13 months worth of not wanting to be a part of it. And frankly, Armen, what you just said was a part of it. It was playing out of both sides of your mouth. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too and run down the floor against the Knicks earlier in the year on an big, sweet NBC game yelling out, "This is my bleeping city." While 2 months ago, you said, "I would prefer you only negotiate with them and I want out." But I don't want to be the bad guy and be the one that everybody has to see and hear say it. But the way that he went about it and the way that his representation did, I do believe allowed them to get, the best bad package that was potentially out there. I think it's a good deal. I don't think it's a great deal. I don't think it's a massive haul of packages, but they got 7 ultimately first round talents out of it. Their last 3 first round picks that Miami drafted, 2 unprotecteds late in the 13th pick that maybe you could package with 10, go up and get Darius Acuff. There's ways to go about it. But I struggle with the last year plus, Armen, that has been an in and out, halfway in, halfway out. I didn't want that anymore.
Yeah, there's a little.
So I'd much prefer this resolution than go about what we all went through last year, because nobody needed to see that again. And most importantly, Bucks fans didn't need to see that anymore, because that was a checked out cat that wanted out, which I understand. I totally get wanting out at that point. But here you go. This is what you get. This is what you wanted.
A lot of comments, as you guys can imagine.
We'll get to them all. 877-794-1973 if you'd like to chat with us. We're off and running. It's a new era, a new day, a day for joyous reflection and perhaps nervously looking ahead to what's next, starting with tonight in the draft and what will the Bucks do from here.
Yes, sir. Clean rip.
By the way, amid the tire and strip club ads, Brandon Woodruff pitched pretty well last night.
Amazing.
We're gonna cover it all.
That was awesome.
You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Dunkers. Maybe next year. All the guys that are legends because the number retired. Like in the team in Greece, you know how my number retired. Maybe in 15 years, 20 years, maybe my number is up there next to Kareem, Oscar Robinson. I hope I'm there.
It's the day one life without Giannis in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. Welcome back to the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Your comments are welcome. We're sharing our thoughts as we work through the Giannis trade. He's headed to Miami. If you're just waking up to the news, a lot of folks were probably in bed when it broke about 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I did. Nature called last night, Drew, and I did. I was very, very proud of myself actually this morning because I did stick to my guns and didn't look because I knew that I was going to look and then I was going to wake up and then I'd be up for an hour and a half because I'd be reading through and trying to look up Khalil Ware's per 36 minutes. So I decided to just not do it and then woke up to the news here today like I think a lot of folks are doing and having to explain, maybe some tough conversations to the little ones that are waking up, still rocking those 34 jerseys this morning.
That's growth, though, Billy, by you.
Do you shelve the gear for a while? Will you rep Giannis at Bucks games and Bucks events? Will you wear it around or you just put that one in the closet for a while because it's too raw?
Yeah, I got the title shirt on, right? So his name is on the back here along with everybody else, including Bobby Portis, who I didn't necessarily appreciate just being thrown in there.
Yeah, we don't properly get.
I appreciated the Kuzma throw in. I didn't necessarily appreciate the Bobby Portis throw in, but maybe somebody had to go there.
So John Horst will address the media after the draft tonight. John Horst, there's no draft. They used to have a whole draft thing where it was catered and you'd go cover it and you'd sit there all night watching on TV and they had workspace and it was on the floor of the Cousin Center where they practiced. Right now it's well, you can show up at 9:30. There'll be a couple of workstations. Water and coffee will be available, and that's about it.
And then
it's
we'll
in the lobby of the training center, and then John Horst is going to pop out after they're done.
Well,
the draft is over.
They used to do everything to get us media there. Maybe those days are going to return soon. I'm not really
have to
sure.
Be pretty media friendly.
Maybe some rollback pricing coming on the tickets.
So
get that pizza
from the Talking Sex line, Tony in Oak Creek's a 5 o'clock club member. He's an OG. He said, "Gentlemen, today's a sad day. Reminiscent of when Paul Molitor left the Brewers. This one hurts and will hurt for a long time. Well, it only hurts if you let it hurt."
Well, it's not that easy, Drew. I'm sorry.
I know it only hurts if you let it hurt. I mean, you can
come on.
You just say thanks for the memories. It's it is. But here's my thing again when it comes to Giannis, and I'm hearing a lot of this well, he was two-faced. He said he wanted to stay in Milwaukee forever, but he didn't. I said no. He said he wanted to stay in Milwaukee as long as they had a chance to play for a title, and it became apparent to him and to many that couldn't happen with him here in the current configuration. The Dame thing ended up being the last swing. Now, you can put blame everywhere you want, put it on Doc Rivers, put it on bad luck, put it on bad juju, the injuries to Chris down the stretch, and when Giannis was hurt, and Dame blowing out his Achilles, and the wave and stretch and everything, the die was cast. We get one and dones. I went through this the last time.
Sure.
We get one and dones in this market. You win one title, and that's it. The Milwaukee Braves win one title, and then they ended up leaving town. Since the Packers and Lombardi, all of our glory has been one and done, basically.
Enjoy it and roll.
And the Brewers going to the LCS, and losing twice, and that's the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean,
but we're basically one and done for most of our great athletes.
Yeah, and you're right. I also think though that there's something to. And very much like I think Brett Favre had this illumination, or there was an illumination of what it actually was later in his life. He wasn't as aw shucks as there might have been put on. Maybe Ty Detmer taught about a nickel defense. He knew exactly what the heck he was doing every single time he ran out there. And I think Giannis knew everything that he was doing when he stepped up to the microphone over the last 13 months. And did it work out well for the Bucks? Again, he could have done what a lot of stars do, the majority of them do, and say, I'm going to one team and one team only. You send me there or I will pout and be dismissive. And I appreciate the fact that he didn't do that. But to act like this was just somewhat popped up, or whenever he does speak in a Miami Heat outfit and say, last night the Post, I've always trusted God and God's always had me. And I know that you're going to lead the right way. Well, you've led this the last year plus. Like, so I can't act. You can't act like this is out of left field when you've been screaming out of left field, "Get me out of here." And I agree, they are not in a championship contention. Large part of it is because, if you believe different reports, that they said, "Hey man, we're going to try to sell it on a gap year. We're going to keep Dame. We're going to have $50 million coming off the books next year. We're going to have a lot of flexibility." And there was never a relenting or a belief that you should take somewhat of a step back to build towards the future. I think they very much could have if everybody was open to it. But I think one side was and one side wasn't, which again is no fault to anybody. Yeah. The sides grow apart, things can change.
Yeah.
But people change. And listen, Giannis was the first guy that I ever watched on my favorite team be younger than me. So like, if you want to talk the full flip of life that you live with it, people change. Definitely not the same guy I was 10 years ago.
That's a good point.
And you learn it in real time that lives change, people change, perspectives change, and goals change.
Goals change. Yeah.
And this one, to me, this is where this is I think the split here. You can't tell me this is a championship winning move. Like, this isn't a move that is, I'm going to go chase a massive title.
Not in the near
Bam
term,
Adebayo.
But in 3 years or 5 years with the core that they have, like, as we've seen, as we mentioned, 5 years ago, the Bucks and Suns played for a title, and now those two teams have one player and no coaches from that period. It's like, that is as rapid a stark a turnover as you can have.
Well, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, Billy. But I do believe that what they're doing also is selling Giannis on a vision. Like, we are the Miami Heat. We believe that we have principles of the organization that we can build ourselves into a winner. There's Bam as a known quantity. He's here right now. I totally agree with you, but I think this will test two of the things that they believe about themselves mostly. That one, they're a huge destination, right, for free agents or
Miami is a
right.
destination.
So
that is true.
They're
all
gonna
rich
need to
people.
be, and they believe in their development. I mean, they have to write it on their court, but they believe in those tenets. So it'll test that now because they have to do more probably to become that team. But
they got to fill out the roster. Who do they
saying,
get? Do they go get Chris Paul? Do they go? Who are they?
Chris Paul's been out of basketball and retired. Like, again, that's awesome to me. Cool. Like that's who you're gonna go with. That ain't winning anything.
No.
And he's not getting any younger. And those legs aren't getting any fresh tread. Like, as much as he is now going to have, I saw this over the last couple of weeks, he's going to be the most rested and prepared for an NBA season he's been in a long time because he's not going to play internationally. Well, people have been asking him not to play internationally for 4 years. Maybe that would have helped you over the last 5 years.
The idea that he's going to fit right in with Bam when he didn't fit right in with the Dame very well. Of course, they never really got a chance to test that out. Matt Moore on the X said, "I feel for Bucks fans. Losing these players is so tough, man. Fans care so much about them when they build legacies for their cities. You buy the gear and cheer and yell and scream and defend them online versus anything you think is an attack, and then one day they're in another jersey." Welcome to sports. That's why 90% of it is being kicked in the nads, and you got to think about the 13 years of joy you got out of Giannis.
Yeah, and that's what you try and have gratitude. But it's hard when the moment, because it's surreal. It's just surreal to think about all the days and all the years we worried about him leaving.
And
now it's real.
It's not dissimilar from the exits of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. We had a lot of wishy-washy feelings back then. The roller coaster. That's what it was. And I guess that's what it is. That's the state of sports these days.
Yeah, no doubt. Sam on the talking text line, never going to forget the feeling Giannis gave me, being able to watch him win a championship with my son in my arms. And that is true. Like, the memories will last for a long time. And gave a lot of folks a lot of memories that nobody thought they were going to see. Bob from Baraboo. Giannis keeps saying he wanted to go to a title contender. Is Miami really that after gutting their team? What also, isn't Tyler here on the last year of his contract? Are we flipping him too? I've heard rumors, Bob. Very much so. There's very much a possibility and probably a likelihood that Hero doesn't play for the Bucks. There's also some talking. I don't know. Maybe they could move Ware and company, but you got a lot of younger players that would be in the mix, and Hero is due for a contract extension, and maybe you give it to him, maybe you don't. They got some pieces here, but they're going to have more that are going to come into the fold over the next.
Tyler Hero's making $33 million on the last year of a 4-year, $120 million extension.
Yeah, he's probably in line for about a $36 million a year extension. That would
One
be
would think.
And do we give it to him then?
Hometown kid. Does he play for the Bucks? That's another question out of this. Do the Bucks flip him to Detroit for more assets.
That was the early rumor of
You
the
know?
3 team, or maybe Orlando. I mean, I've heard that.
They can also get a large trade exception or build onto the trade exception if they build it into this deal. Right now, they're going to grab like $20 million back that you can take someone's bad contract and get picks for. You're in a full scale back mode. I would just struggle to think that they gut even more of it and trade more of those guys off because again, you don't have control of your picks. That's why I thought the Brown one to then be able to potentially move Jalen over to Portland or keep and just play and make do with it. It's not very advantageous for you to be one of the 5 worst teams in the league because then all of a sudden another team gets to reap most of those rewards.
I just saw a message on Facebook from someone said, "Why am I more sad about Bobby Portis leaving than Giannis?"
Bobby, that's going to be an underrated.
Bobby is like the Niger Morgan of the Bucks.
He was the battle cry for Bucks
fans.
He was
the Niger Morgan, the Tony Plush.
Wallace for lack of a better term, for a lot of people. I mean, this is a big change up. It's an era emotionally, but maybe it was right that they both left together because that whole era, the Bobby Portis would be the last remnants of that empire. It's just, it might not have been right. So maybe it was right to do it this way. I don't know. I mean, it's just
the guy okay. Then the other thing is we're going to hear from Giannis. You're going to hear from John Horst tonight after the draft. I don't know when Giannis.
He won't be able to talk about this though, because this won't go down until July 6th. So I don't know
when Giannis's presser will be in South Beach, but we'll obviously be watching and listening to that with very close attention. But don't you want to hear from Taylor Jenkins?
I'd love to hear from everybody, but he's definitely one of them. Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins, I want to, it's like, ooh, he took the job knowing this was in the cards.
Yeah, he knew what was happening.
So, all right, so you're that takes the pressure off the rebuild. I mean, it takes a pressure off of what your year 1 record's going to be. Obviously, they're competitors and wants to have a good number, but it can enter with pretty low expectations and build a new culture. Basically, the Bucks are starting from scratch now. It's a new culture. There might be, whatever, like KPJ and those guys, it's a new sheriff in town. It's not Doc anymore. And the guys that are coming back, Ryan Rollins, a young, impressionable guy.
It sounds like there'll actually be a sheriff.
Taylor Jenkins can actually mold this the way he wants. So now it's like,
we'll be governed.
Who's the most important person in the Bucks organization? Is it Taylor Jenkins? Is it John Horst because of what has to come? Is it Khalil Ware? Is it who's
their lead player?
Is it Usman Zheng? Is it who's the guy?
That's a great question.
Who's the
I don't think we know yet.
Who's the most important person to the Bucks' future? And I'm throwing out again, like who wins the title first and who wins more games over the next 5 years, the Bucks or the Heat? That's an interesting question.
Well, the Heat will definitely win more games, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel, Billy. I think the Heat will definitely win more games. The question of the title is,
what if Giannis gets hurt? What if Bam gets hurt? Like they look a little thin, like we said. Like it's not dissimilar to what.
And the injury part is a
ran with the Bucks.
You can't
now
fully
they have a
dismiss
good coach.
The injury part there.
Yeah,
they have a great coach. They have a
great coach.
The coaching is maybe the best thing that they have going for them because again, Bam's a very, very nice player, no doubt about it. He's a multiple-time All-Star, but nobody was setting destinations to have Bam Adebayo be their number 1 piece outside of when you want to move to South Beach. So I think this is as much of a life move as it is a basketball move. More of a life move than a basketball move. There were better basketball destinations for Giannis to want and force his way to. He wanted to go live in Miami, which I totally understand, totally appreciate. Now go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy the fruits of that labor and enjoy that Kalshi money because I imagine that there's going to be even more of it that's flowing in that tech hub.
That's right. 877-794-1973. We're working through it. Giannis is a Huddle here in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen. Day one, the post-Giannis era in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. 877-794-173. 1973 is the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. 877-794-1973. You text us, you can talk to us. Like Mike in Shorewood has been waiting on the line to talk to us. He's a 5 o'clock club member. Mike, welcome to the program. What are you thinking about the departure of number 34?
Morning, fellas. Yeah, to me, I'm going to tip my cap and salute Giannis. Been an incredible athlete, the greatest buck in franchise history, in my opinion. He gave us the title in 21. What an awesome run that was in the parade. Also, the 2 MVPs, the defensive player of the year, just highlight after highlight for 13 plus years. I don't expect athletes to remain with one team anymore. I think it's just, it's a very rare. We're rarely going to see it. So I didn't expect Giannis to retire a buck. So give us that brand spanking new arena. And now we got a haul for Giannis. It's incumbent upon John Horst now to take advantage of the situation. Obviously, they tried their best to make it work out. The Dame situation, unfortunately, with his injuries, derailed a lot of our playoff runs. But we did get that one title. So now John Horst got a haul of young players and picks. Go ahead and rebuild now this going forward. And as for Giannis, I don't know. Maybe Miami is a better city to live in for most people, but I just don't think the team itself, he's going to be that much better off there. So it's going to be interesting to watch him and Bam and what. It's going to be a bunch of spare parts and vet min guys to make it all work. So I don't know. And the thing you got to worry about if you're Miami is his injury history. So he needs his athleticism and greatness in him. And sometimes Bams can't stay healthy. So it's going to be fascinating to watch them. But no negative vibes towards him. He gave us 13 years. He didn't do the Aaron Rodgers, just create chaos year after year. There was some talk lately, but I mean, that's just going to be the national talking heads. So it finally happened. And finally, I'm just happy he didn't go to Boston. I really would have despised him if he went to Boston. I can't stand the Celtics. The Heat really are not that unlikable. You know, whatever people say, what they want to say about them. But if he went to Boston, I really despised it. So I'm just happy he didn't end up there. That would have been awful. So, hey,
there you
Buck
go.
Nation,
all right,
hold your heads up high. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Mike.
Let's go, Mike. Definitely the lesser of the two evils in the Boston to Miami one. Yeah, I 1,000% agree there. I don't fully agree with the less drama than other ones, but I think there's something else to this of he's different because you still remember him as a 18-year-old walking from Wells Fargo to the arena, and there's so much growth at Drew, as he mentioned there, from the city that is directly tied to Giannis. Like there's a lot in the city that we love in that area of downtown that otherwise was an absolute wasteland, and that you could almost see tumbleweeds just blow past. Now it's a live part of downtown. Hopefully it continues as the Bucks maybe have to get a little bit more into the earlier 2000s range where you're finding some tickets a lot more accessible at a Wendy's or things like that. Because I assume if you haven't been able to afford going to Bucks games over the last couple of years, I think it's going to be a little bit easier over there. I think it's going to be a little bit easier in 26, 27.
I can't imagine this is a great day for a season tickets sales department and the sales
I can't imagine that either. But hey, who knows? Might be discounts. Brad and Sheboygan, are any of Giannis's crappy brothers still on the Bucks? I hope not.
So Alex is a restricted free agent. Got a feeling he might be non-tendered. And Thanasis was on a 1-year deal. So he is a free agent. Totally able to sign with the Heat.
They have roster spots.
They got spots.
I don't think
they got spots.
I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Thanasis a spot in the bench. Everyone jokes about that, but I wouldn't be totally surrised. Because I don't know that I don't know that it matters that much. I don't know. I mean,
I put him on the staff.
I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Yeah, maybe on the staff or support staff or something like that. But they're going to try and make it work now with Giannis. They're going to try and make it work with Bam. They're going to try and be the 94 Knicks.
The other
big men. So
as you debate this, though, and again, like different situations, different eras. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. In terms of impact, Giannis, most important player in franchise, most interesting player in franchise history. But Kareem was here half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem won 3 MVPs. 1 title, 3 scoring championships.
Appeared in another.
Was all the all-star games. Yeah, appeared in another finals. And that was when the Bucks were just a baby franchise. So he helped establish them, and Giannis helped save them
Both have a measurable impact.
Yeah, it's like they're both two of the all-time greats in the game.
Sure.
So I'm not that quick to say Giannis is absolutely the most important, the best player in franchise history. Well, again,
I made that mistake last year.
Short window, but what Kareem packed into 6 years, like even the points and rebounds and stuff, Giannis, it took him a longer time
to be able to get back there,
be able to get to Kareem's level.
It's a tough one. You're splitting hairs.
It's ridiculous.
Well, there's also levels to it. I mean, Kareem is at worst a top 4 player of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Worst.
Agreed.
And
Giannis is at worst, a top 30 player of all time?
So I think 25 is fair.
25 is fair.
Yeah. So I think you're talking about obviously legend. Yeah. So to unseat a legend like Kareem would be, but he did give more service time to the team than Kareem, and he ostensibly made
almost
Milwaukee,
twice as well.
but he liked Milwaukee and made it his home more too. I think that's a big.
Now
difference.
I wonder if
Kareem
Giannis, he's got that palace in River Hills. Does he sell that to? Does Tyler Hero buy that with a basketball court in it and stuff?
Or does he totally disassociate with the city? I don't see that. His father's buried here, but I don't think for the time being he's going to have much to do with Milwaukee.
Yeah, I can't think that there's a lot of folks that have the glue to buy that place.
Oh, private equity money is out there, Billy.
A lot of private equity money in Milwaukee?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a new
it's going to be another
Bucks.
player. I mean, that's how it happens. Players usually sell their houses to other players.
Yeah, but there's got to be a player that can afford that one. That's in a different tax bracket.
That's true. All right, we're just off and running. It's the Tuesday edition, post Giannis edition of the Huddle.
I'm Doug Russell. It was a deal that seemingly was a decade in the making, but this time the handwriting was on the wall for a while. Last night, the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed. Giannis Antetokounmpo is headed to the Miami Heat, along with Bobby Portis, for a haul. ESPN's Shams Charania.
You get Tyler Hero, that's a homecoming for him. Khalil Ware, a young center. Jaime Jaquez, a good two-way wing. You get Kasparas Yakashonis, who's just 20 years old, an up-and-coming guard. And then they get a significant return of draft capital. 3 first-round picks, unprotected.
Including tonight's number 13 overall selection in the draft. They also get a future second-rounder and a pick swap. The Giannis era is over in Milwaukee. Baseball last night in 10 innings. The Brewers get past the Reds 2-1. Brandon Woodruff nearly unhittable, giving up just 1 hit in 6 innings of work. Game 2 is tonight. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Diller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball y'all do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
It's the day after Giannis traded to Miami last evening. Welcome back, Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Your comments are welcomed. We're going to ditch buying and selling today because
there's not a we
everything's been sold.
Gone.
Our souls have been sold. That's just, again, it's the 90% of being a fan, getting kicked in the cup. 877-794-1973.
I could do one buy or sell. Are you buying or selling Jaylen Brown playing for the Boston Celtics this year after they reportedly threw him right there in front and dangled him in front of these trade conversations? Because the one silver lining out of all of this, waking up this morning, Drew, is knowing that Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics get the deal now with that Twitch streaming problem coming up.
And he's, like you mentioned, he's already had problems with the Celtics, obviously, of feeling insecure about his role.
He's regarded as a diva by a lot of Celtics fans. But he was a hell of a player for them, and
their finals
still is a hell of a
player. But then I'm listening to Boston Sports Radio yesterday. They were not super fired up about acquiring Giannis. They didn't really want. They wanted to keep Jaylen Brown. A lot of folks there believe he's best. Like people elsewhere believe he's better than Tatum, that he's more able to be counted upon, more of a dog mentality, somebody that more of a leader and a downhill attacker. And I think that's a fascinating conundrum that now goes into the rest of the night, because now the NBA draft got a whole lot more interesting, and maybe even some people will watch tomorrow night on the second round.
I think that was the next level of John Horst's plan, was just to mess up the Celtics on the way. If he's like, I'm going to do this if I have to trade this, I'm going to gut the Heat. I'm going to mess up the Celtics. And if that was his plan, he did a good job with it. There's a lot of massaging that has to be done in Boston, I would think, as well, Billy. And that's a really good observation by you. And hopefully they have problems for years to come in Boston.
So I don't know.
Wish them no good luck.
The Heat, we don't need to worry about the Heat's roster. Let's think about the Bucks roster. And the Bucks will reveal part of their thinking tonight with the draft. Do they use the 2 picks to move up? Do they use the 2 picks? Do they trade for more picks? Do they flip Tyler Hero today to a team to get more assets? Do they flip him eventually? What will they keep out of what they got back? And let's look at what they got back. It's better than what was on the table reportedly at midseason.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was going to have to be a 3-team, 4-team bank shot. There still might be as they peel off these assets.
It's possible.
Here's the thing. You go into this trade knowing that it's impossible to get value to replace.
Yeah, you're not going to get
fair
market
deal. When you're sending a generational, top 25 of all time player away, you're not going to get equal value.
Mm-mm.
It's just that's out the window.
I actually kind of thought I'd be more disappointed.
And for what he means to the city,
there's no way.
There's no replacement.
No.
So, it's not what they got back wasn't great. It was barely good, but it wasn't bad.
Correct.
That's the best they could do.
Fair determination, right? Best that they could do out of a bad situation. And also, Drew, you mentioned it. Like at midseason, I think Miami could only trade 1 first-round pick at midseason. And folks are saying, I don't know, this ain't getting many better. Well, it absolutely can get better when you can add in 2 unprotected first-round picks.
Good point.
That then you will have to add in and whatever the 2033, second round pick. That's a huge asset.
Asset.
I don't know if there's a bigger one.
You didn't have any
out there.
You didn't have anybody penciled in right now for a current 12-year-old that's out there playing right now.
Gonna go scout some U12s and go see if we can find who they're gonna use that second round pick on. But you get enough. You get the last 3 years, Drew, of Miami's first round pick talent. Khalil Ware is rather, I would think, an untapped guy. He's
22, 7-footer,
and he was top 5. I think he's 6th in Rookie of the Year balloting a year ago. So we'll see. And Yakachunas is a complete wild card. I don't think anybody knows what good. That dude could be. 6'5", 200. Looks like he can shoot it pretty well from Illinois. Most will go, and I understand, onto now you have to figure out how you're going to draft better, how you're going to start picking better players into the draft that are going to be more foundational pieces. I think all of this rolls into the development of those players that get in here. And how do you make Khalil Ware a top flight NBA center? He's already here. Yakachunas is already here. Whoever you grab tonight, whether it's Mikal Brown Jr., if he can slide the 10, which I'd be okay with. I'd like it if he could go down to 10. I don't know they're going to package these 2 up and get Acuff, which I've wanted for a while, Drew. But with this kind of dearth of talent that you have on the roster right now, I don't know that it behooves you all that much to package them up. You might need more quantity than just one quality, because I don't think you're getting up into the top 4 to grab a Wilson or Peterson if he slides out of the top 2.
It is interesting, Billy, when you put it that way, to see what direction the Bucks will take. Because on one hand, you say to yourself, we might as well just kind of, circle the wagons to collect as many picks as possible. Just stockpile them, throw them against the wall, and hope to get a great. It's kind of in a way what Oklahoma City did, but they had more to work with off that PG trade. On one hand, it's like, well, is it quantity or quality of picks, right? Because if you don't have, history tells us, yeah, you can find great players in the 9 to 15 range. It's possible to find it, but the majority of the best players come in those top 5 picks. So can you find a way to try and get better picks for the future? Do you take the players you've got in this trade and try and work with them and build the best team you can with them? Or do you just try and say, we're just going to peel off every asset possible and stockpile picks? There's a lot of ways to go here, and the Bucks will be faced with it right away tonight. But to your point, yeah, development is going to be as important as drafting, and I guess the two go hand in hand, right? And the Bucks have a big job ahead of them, but I think it's going to be a long job. I think it's going to be a rebuilding process. It's going to take some time. I think people like Pete over here on the YouTube comments that said we'll be better than the lowly Wizards, for instance. They'll be a 7th or 8th seed battling LFG. I love the energy. I love the hopefulness. I'm always going to cheer for my team to win, but I don't see us being in that mix.
Could you imagine if the Bucks and Heat played in the play-in?
It'd be a shocking development, and it would be unexpected, but wow, wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, I get it because they've been a play-in team the last 3 years.
That's all they've been with Bam, with all these pieces. Now you have a healthy Giannis, obviously that changes the equation, but you're right, Bill.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of questions now on the roster, obviously.
They do, but they also have a lot of time, and they're pretty, they have a lot of ingenuity as well.
How good can they be?
And they can get ring-chasing shooters, and that's what they need to space the floor with the big guys they got.
Who's left to get?
That's the thing, though. Like Drew, that's the part. I don't know that there's a ton of those guys out there, right? Like in theory, it also sounds a lot better, but there's just not a ton of those guys out there, and you haven't seen that work very well, right? Like I don't know that we've seen the ring chasing older guys work well in the last 7 or 8 years, because the league has flipped to a lot of you got to have a large collection of young players that can run up and down a little.
We're also forgetting, because Giannis was healthy for about a dozen games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting how good he is when he's healthy, because
I agree.
He's spectacular. If he approaches what he did, you don't need a lot else. Like with him and Bam and Bobby, like I said, the front court is solid. Who was the point guard for the Heatles?
Mario Chalmers.
Yep. I mean,
right.
Yeah. Good player, but
but all due respect, none of these guys are LeBron, and Bam ain't Dwayne Wade or Chris Bosh. So I mean, I get it. Like again, you had some, but that was also a time where you could load up the roster and you could pay the Ray Allens and company to then go in, and you can go as far into the tax as you possibly want. You just can't do that now. So the limitations of what $68 million is going to do on your salary cap is also going to be interesting. Danny P in the Shaw knew this trade was coming. It still stings a little, especially hearing how unhappy he was the last year. Plus, at least we got a haul for him, sort of. I know y'all aren't really close anymore. But could you check in to see if our boy is okay at the other spot? He was a mess when Giannis hadn't signed the Supermax right away. There's going to be the friend that everybody wants to go check in on. There's always going to be that one person that everybody wants to go check in on and make sure that they're okay.
He's been texting.
That's the one where I'll go to Drew of, it'll be a lot easier. You'll be okay.
It's just we'll get through it. It's just
very much be okay.
It's not
because again, this isn't and I don't know how much we're going to see more of this because we've already gotten it on the talk and text line here today. Talking about Jimmy Haslam, that he just Brian Madison. Jimmy Haslam has turned the Bucks into the Browns of the NBA. I don't know where the Jimmy Haslam hate is coming in off of this move.
This was going to happen.
This was going to happen
without him.
With or without him, whether Mark Lazary was here or not, whether Peter Fagan was here or not. When the two sides grow apart and one side decides that it's time to move on, it didn't matter who was staying there.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think Jim Paschke was keeping Giannis.
If the Bucks play and we don't know if they'll keep all the guys, but they did get basically like 5 picks, 3 tradable players, and a
couple of pick swaps
and
in
a
there that will help
prospect
out too.
in Ware, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where's the guy that they keep? Right, I would say.
Where in Jakaciunas, I would think so.
Yeah, he's 20 years old.
I would assume Jaquez is probably the easiest guy that you end up keeping at 15 a night.
Jaquez was the runner-up to the 6th man of the year last year.
He's a good player. I like
15
Jaquez.
and 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'6". You know, he was he was a bench guy for them. He's
a good bench, but a really good bench guy. I mean, obviously.
He's eligible for like a 5-year, $250 million extension. He ain't getting that much money.
Well, that's part of it, right? Is what kind of money they
Tyler Hero is eligible for
Yes.
3-year extension up to $150 million. Do the Bucks keep him and build around the hometown kid who was a past 6 man of the year and has been, a 20-point bucket guy.
All-star a year and a half ago.
To your point, Billy, he's been a dude. He's been an all-star.
20 point. He's a closer. He's a bucket getter. So will he be on the team? I don't know. But again, is the Bucks roster better today? Yeah.
Yeah, it's better today.
It's better today.
That is fair.
It's better today. Even losing one of the best players of all time.
I don't know.
It's better today.
I don't know if I'm going that far.
For 36 games of Giannis that you got a year ago?
I'm saying I'm taking it at face value, assuming he's healthy and good.
No, but Armen, I'm looking at Tyler Hero's better than Ryan Rollins and
sure, those
KPJ.
guys. Those guys, there's a couple.
If they keep those guys, that's an upgrade.
Yes, for sure.
Right?
I mean, I there's no doubt about that. The only guy,
you probably have to watch less Pete Nance.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll be okay with that.
Yeah,
Kalel Ware versus
Yakachunas is
he's an interesting piece.
Interesting, the 3-point guy. I mean, he's 20 years old. I don't know.
It does as a stark reminder of what the dearth of talent that was. On
I
the
think
Bucks.
Ware could be a star. Where I see Ware as a future potential all-star. And I think Ousmane Dieng is.
You have to kind of squint to see it, but maybe there's an all-star in there somewhere.
Kalel Ware? You didn't see him much last year.
I maybe didn't, but I don't know.
I think he's pretty good.
I'm ready to be hopeful. I don't know if I'm there yet, but maybe it's possible.
Well, this makes it sound a little bit better.
He wasn't a full-time starter, and he averaged 11 points and 9 rebounds.
That was the thing. None of the guys that they got outside of Hero were starters on the squad. However, I think you could argue, Drew, a couple of them probably should from the way that they ended up playing.
If I got a 22-year-old guy who's 7 feet and was a part-time starter and averaged almost a double-double, I can work with that.
That's a good place to start.
I can work with that.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
And again, do they trade Miles Turner and that money? Like
that Miles Turner piece is the interesting one.
That's an interesting
one. Can
one.
they get anything better out of him play-wise than they've
that's the thing. It's like if
no
he's
trade
more up
value.
and down and it's better if it's a different it's Talon Taylor Jenkins. So again, there's ways to process this. The Bucks I think they did the best they could, clearly, because they were trying to play the Celtics and Heat off each other, and that's maybe the end piece was that second rounder.
Yeah, second round. It sounds like it was Yakachunas was the last one.
Might have been the Hugo or
the guy that Boston wasn't going to give up and go over the top for. The other part of this is fascinating as to who else gets moved, Drew, and who else can you, Armen, to your point, can play somewhat better. There's got to be better basketball in Miles Turner.
There has to be, right?
It's hard to have.
He was
worse.
not playing in fourth quarters. It was Doc,
I would imagine
with Kalel Ware now on the roster. I don't know that you're playing him in fourth quarters either.
Or do you flip him? Or do you is he a guy who's attractive in a trade?
Can you keep more into and that's where maybe you have to keep him until February and then he has more value. But Kuzma, I thought was potentially going to be the throw in. That was what Simmons had talked about. Kyle Kuzma laughed at that.
Well, he went crazy.
He quote tweeted it yesterday after the Bill Simmons part had came out that he might be the Giannis tax. Since when is a 6'9" wing who plays any role you ask, guards 1 through 5, shot almost 50% from the field, and cares about defense, a throw in?
I loved it. I love knowing that there was always a guy we knew that had too much confidence for what he really was. It's like, come on, since when is a guy it's just funny to me. Yeah.
So maybe there's better basketball in Kyle Kuzma now.
Well, he had some good moments. I don't want to totally make a joke out of it. He had some good moments in the court. He would just also have some really bad ones. And I think that is part of the problem with him. I think you got to get something better out of Miles. But I also think, guys, it's okay to look at it this way and see what it can be and this and that. I think it's okay to say also Bucks might be bad for a while. It might happen that way.
Might be.
And that's okay. That's part of the process.
Does it help, though, that they were bad this year?
That's the thing.
Like with a capital B.
And without Giannis, and this was the move that was going to be had to make. If he wasn't going to sign the extension, which was the reporting by Shams and all that, you were going to be derelict in your duty if you didn't do what John Horst did, which was hold out and try and extract the best value out of this move that he could. And that's, I think, what he did in the end. I think he tried to go down with the ship as far as they could. The Dame thing, obviously, you mentioned, Drew, but the Miles Turner thing was the last gas heave to try to say, maybe we can save this thing. But Eric in the Prairie said the Bucks are back in the suck. Maybe. Yeah, probably. And that's kind of the right way it's got to be, I think, when you try and rebuild. That's part of the point.
9-2-0. This is a new beginning. Spring has arrived for the Bucks. Giannis gave so much and still gave it on his way out. On to baseball, though, because Woody pitched great yesterday. There's some more coming there, no doubt about it.
On the baseball, that's a good segue because we do have a baseball report from our Hunter Baumgart, our man on the scene, boots on the ground. Hunter Baumgart has a recap of last night's game in Cincinnati. Let's throw to that right now. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers get a 2-1 victory in 10 innings over the Cincinnati Reds last night. How about Brandon Woodruff? 6 innings, 1 hit, didn't allow a base runner till the 6th inning. No walks, no runs, and 10 strikeouts. It's his 21st game of his career with 10-plus strikeouts. That is second in Brewers history, only to Corbin Burns, who did it 23 times. So he's climbing the chart on that record. But, boy, great to see after he was out since April 30th. With the injury, so he is back. Also, the bullpen, fantastic. Ashby, Uribe, McGill, and then Joe Kuno gets the save in the 10th inning after the Brewers put up 2 in the top half. Brewers manager Pat Murphy going back to Brandon Woodruff saying that it was a special performance. And he's like, nobody's shocked by what Woodruff did. They know his capabilities. Brandon Woodruff knows his capabilities. Joey Ortiz talked about it after the game, telling Sophia Minert that they love playing behind him because Woodruff just goes and attacks. He's not afraid of anybody, and that gave the Brewers a ton of confidence as they moved through that game. It was 0-0 going into the 10th inning, which is a rare sight at Great American Ballpark. The Brewers will send Brandon Sproat to the mound tonight, 6:10 first pitch. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show starting at 5 o'clock on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee, and, of course, our social channels as well. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
Very well done, Hunter. Thank you for that update. Hell of a performance by Woodruff. If you can get sprinkle a few more of those in with Miz and Harrison.
Yeah, let's get out of the Scooble conversation if that's the deal.
You can lower your sights a little bit. Although if you had Scooble, Harrison, Miz, and Woodruff going at high levels, yikes.
Yeah, then good luck to everybody else.
Wow,
Drew, his attack with basically 2 pitches, the sinker and the 4-seamer. I mean, like that is
Woodruff,
there was like 15 pitches that weren't those 2. I mean, he just went at
his
the
transformation
right
from the hard throwing guy to just the pitcher. He's learned. Like I don't know if it's from watching as much as he's been hurt lately, but he is really dealing.
And the Brewers might say they weren't surprised where they've seen it. Hunter had that report. I'll raise my hand. I didn't.
I didn't see that one.
I knew he was pumped up.
Wow, he rolled up 10 Ks and going perfect into the 6th. I'm like, Woody's back. All right.
That park too to have a 0-0 game.
Correct.
Boy, I needed
that was like seeing a unicorn.
I was going to say we've been watching games in Las Vegas. We've been watching them at Great American Small Park for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Woody gave me one, so I appreciate that.
That's right. Okay, Armen.
Oh, Armen.
No,
9 months from now, Brandon.
This reminds me.
Corey Jaime.
That reminds me of
Jaime, new era.
Khalil.
Hey,
Kalel, isn't it?
Kalel. Sorry, Kalel.
If you're getting tumescent like Armen here, or if you're not, Game Day Men's Health can help you maximize your carpe diem. Seize the day, seize the week, seize the summer, seize your life, get your life back. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Go there, find a clinic near you. Go for the free consult, little blood stick, finger stick. They'll check your blood and then tell you if they can help you with many of their services. Go look at the website for everything they offer. Peptide therapy, testosterone replacement. They've got hair loss treatments, ED. All of it's there for you. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. When we come back, halftime, Scott Dolphin's going to join us. We'll get his thoughts and see how this is resonating on the first day of the post-Giannis era. It's a new era in Wisconsin sports. Definitely a new era for your Milwaukee Bucks. And the draft is tonight. We got something. They're going to get some new shiny pieces tonight. Bucks hold the 10th and 13th picks in a talent-rich draft. Do they move up?
Yes, let's move up, Drew.
Do they package 10 and 13 to move up to get the player of their choice? Are they happy with 10 and 13? Will they flip some of these pieces? Will they flip Kyle Kuzma or Jaquez or Miles Turner? It's quite the interesting time to be following the Milwaukee Bucks. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Tuesday edition of the Huddle the day after the Giannis era ends. It's day one of life without Giannis. Sun rose in the east. We're still living, thriving, and surviving here in Milwaukee, processing one of the bigger trades in local sports history. It's halftime of the Huddle today. We welcome Scott Dolphin, our halftime correspondent from FM 1061. Hello, Dolph.
Hey, Drew. That's a good one, Armen. That's a good Gone song. I was thinking this morning what would be the best songs to relay our feelings, you know?
Yeah, End of the Road is one that Armen's just itching to play.
A good one.
That's a big one.
Little Boys to the Men.
It takes
Boys
so
to
long
Men.
to get into that song, though. You know,
It does.
It's such a long, emotional, not good for radio bumps, but it's probably one I listen to on the way home.
Sarah McLachlan, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That's a good nomination.
I can't do that one because then I just look at the dogs.
The
on
sad pets.
commercial.
Yeah.
I can't have
No,
that.
the I Will Remember You, not the sad.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wasn't it? Wasn't that her?
I think so.
I will remember.
Yeah,
Right, but what's
her.
the song with the Apska, the dogs on the?
That one's really bad.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that
what I'm
was
saying.
Yeah, I can't think of that one.
I thought that was it. Okay, maybe I'm wrong then. All right.
So, Dolph, this is obviously a blockbuster trade. We don't know at present like which guys the Bucks will keep. We don't know if they're going to keep the 10 and 13 pick or try to package those and move up. Like they need more picks. They're on the hook for Dame's contract. They're in a tough spot right now. If you're expecting them to be, it's going to be a slog. It's going to be a rebuild, but it doesn't have to be like a 10-year, wander through the wilderness like we had in the pre-Giannis era.
I mean, we've seen teams do it in 4, when they've been in this situation where they had to get ready. Oh, then you look at teams like Brooklyn, though, that really hasn't recovered, have they, since they traded KD?
No, and I mean, Dolph, they got a lot more in terms of just like sheer draft capital from a couple of those trades with the Kyrie and Harden and KD.
See, but the guys that the Bucks are getting back are guys that the Heat drafted, and the Heat have a better track record.
Yeah, they got a better identification track. Yes, 100%.
These guys will contribute immediately. I mean, if you look at the numbers and what they did in Miami, I guess if you had to see who's most expendable, it'd probably be Tyler Hero, right? That's the one where you're going to get some bang for your buck, and especially since his contract's going to be up.
Yeah, he's a closer. He's a 21.
He's an all-star.
Bucket getter.
He averaged 24 a night, like you said a couple of years ago. He's been for 6 or whatever it is, 6 of his 8 years, 6 of his 7 years in the NBA. Crazy to think he's been in the league that long. He's been a 20-point guy. Like that, there's not a lot of 20-point a game scorers in the league that they don't just grow on trees. So again, it could be worse. Their package could be a lot worse, and that's the one part of the way Giannis went about it is not making the lists public, not making it known as, outwardly as some would have, and most guys in the NBA have. You were able to get any little bits extra out of Miami, whether that was the 2 pick swaps or Valanciunas or whatever it ended up being. You were able to suck and squeeze that lemon as much as you wanted to.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to look at it.
And that's probably why Bobby was also sent, right, to get a guy like Valanciunas back in return, because they know the ceiling's high for him. Some of
the money. I also think some of it is like Giannis needs his guy to go there, right? Because Bobby's been the guy. If Giannis is going to get into something, Bobby was going to go settle it.
Good point.
So maybe he's
he's like the McSorley. He kind of he's part of that. And the thing about Bobby is, I think you can debate it, but as good of a player as he was for a stretch for the Bucks, and obviously the emotional side, his effectiveness was starting to wane, especially defensively, and so he's obviously had that part of his career. You can throw him into that deal. And to be honest, and I think from an emotional side, it was, if you're going to see Giannis go, it's time for Bobby also, because I didn't want to have that last memory of that era.
So is that it? There's nobody left from 2020? Is Thanasis still under contract?
No,
free agent.
He's free agent. Will he go to Miami? But that was the stat, Dolph, that hit me like a 2x4 between the eyes. That Devin Booker of the Suns is the only player on either team. Oh my God, that was in that final series 5 years ago. Wow, complete turnaround for both franchises, and like both teams are on like their 3rd or 4th coach since then. And Budenholzer coached both teams.
And you could argue Budenholzer's son's tenure was the worst one out of any of the guys that have gone.
But that's insane that there's one player we're 5 years beyond that finals, and both teams looked young and like they were going to be in the mix for a long time, and it didn't happen.
That's really hard to believe. And then you hear what Giannis, only Steph and maybe Draymond. They're the only 2 guys in the league that have been with their team longer now that Giannis is no longer a Buck.
Oh, that sounds
true.
When you look back, look back in history, it's actually a long tenure. And I know guys are playing longer than they used to, but you get shocked sometimes seeing we have memories of players, great players with great teams, and their eras weren't as long as we remember. Right. It's just the primacy bias of thinking of the great things they did. Hopefully that'll be the same with Giannis.
LeBron broke everyone's mind.
That was it. That was what it was, Billy. He did. He played longer and he played better and he played with one team long. And the idea was like the great players used to stay with one team a lot of times, more so, not always, but that long time, that career was a lot shorter. I mean, there's a lot of great players, Magic, Bird, that retired at 33, 34. It's like they weren't as old.
Jordan probably played 2 or 3 years too long. Everybody forget about the Wizards.
But then again, he took a couple years off both times.
Yeah.
So he left in his prime in some ways as well. So
and still won championships. But
his first Bulls tenure, for instance, was only the 9 years or maybe 10 before he made that first retirement. Right. So you remember it as longer because you remember all the events that happened.
And like Giannis, it took a long time to win a ring.
Folks
For
are
Jordan.
Yes.
folks are now wondering, does LeBron go to Miami and play for the minimum?
Go play with. Oh, LeBron ain't playing for no minimum. He got me all sorts of messed up. You're playing for the minimum.
Come on. But the thing about LeBron is, you look at his career. He spent 11 years with the Cavs, 8 years with LA, 8 years,
8 years,
and
with the
only
Lakers.
4
Yeah,
in Miami.
4 in Miami.
Man, I thought that. Yeah, it's hard to believe that LA career has been that long. But that
8 years.
time warp of COVID really did it. To
I was going to
him.
say it was pre-COVID how
Yeah.
long he's been with the Lakers, though.
Crazy to
Yeah,
think
that
about
was 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Hard to believe.
Yeah, so it's just, and where's his next move? But yeah, Dolph, it's like we have the memories, we have the title. We'll never have. We might have a more accomplished and more successful and more winning. Somebody might come in and win more titles than Giannis, but no one will have his story.
No, not at all. I mean, to think about an 18-year-old skinny kid from Athens who came over here and was an immigrant there even and became what he became, not only on the court, but what he's meant to our city. My God. I mean, this is a guy from the early stages. You'd see him at Target. You'd see him at Culver's. And then, of course, the Chick-fil-A stories.
Chick-fil-A 50.
And then
that's still one of the
When
best.
he couldn't get in, he and Mariah couldn't get into Bel Air Cantina. And like the whole city was up in arms. Like, how could you not let Giannis get a table at a restaurant?
Boycotted the restaurant. Yeah,
They
no
just
doubt.
walked to the next place. It was
fine.
no
I'll
big
go over
deal.
here.
That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was always the things we loved about it. You're right. He was good natured about it. I mean,
And
that was
seeing
the
him
thing.
in the wild, now he's going to the glitziest, second glitziest, well, maybe third glitziest market in the league. Is it LA, New York now?
Yeah,
LA,
and then Miami's
Miami.
right there, Drew. I mean, it's one of the destinations for a long time. And when you bring up the Heatles and LeBron and company going there, that was the last great coup that Pat Riley was able to pull off. And now he's been waiting, trying for this guy. They got spurned by Donovan Mitchell for crying out loud to try to get back here, and then they finally got one.
Do you remember? I think the last time Giannis played at American Airlines, or maybe he didn't even play, but I just remember there was a post game where he was like, he mentioned heat culture a bunch of times.
Oh, for sure.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like
The
seed.
He's
was
been dropping
planted.
these seeds for a while.
It was
dude.
planted then that he was he admired the Heat's culture and their hard work ethic.
He threw the Boston one out with Missoula this year. He knew what he was doing.
Look what Pat Riley's, the guys he's brought in.
Yeah, and Spoelstra. I mean, Giannis is going to love
Yeah, but I
playing
mean,
for
again,
Spoelstra.
like he hadn't brought anyone in 15 years, so he desperately
But, I mean,
needed this
look
one.
at his best. Look at his body of work of the guys that he's brought in, like Jimmy Butler and Ray Allen. Like it's unbelievable. The guys that he's brought in.
Well, you can go back in time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
LeBron.
Shaq. I mean, when they
The Shaq
got
one in
Shaq,
04 is one of the
LeBron,
greatest
I
ones.
mean, I remember
So
when
what
they
they've
got
done
Alonzo
and
and those
yeah.
guys. Yeah, I mean, you could go back, but yeah.
To
This
think what
was his white whale
to
for a
think
while.
what D Wade did there, though, before all the spectacle started happening, was pretty amazing. That's how good he was when he was kind of the Lone Ranger in Miami for a while.
All right, so who's our next mural going to be? We got Uke and Giannis now. Is it going to be Miz?
Well, Dolph. Besides Dolph.
Scott Dolphin,
buddy.
yes, right outside of the
Dolphin.
radio station.
Do we keep the mural? It stays,
You
right?
got to.
It's gotta.
You can't change what he meant, and as
Right.
much as it hurts in the moment, time always passes and heals those wounds, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't do that. I mean, what he did is still crystallized in Billy. What do you give me that look for?
No, I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I just
So
because it is a weird one. That is a weird thing to then be driving downtown and you're going to drive to a Bucks game and you're then going to drive right by a 34 that is no longer going to be playing there. That's a strange one to think of for the next 4 or 5 years.
Is this a dumb question, or which would sting more? Giannis winning a title with the Heat, or Craig Counsell winning a World Series with the Cubs?
Craig Counsell.
Yeah,
Way
100%.
more painful.
Not close
I
on
like
that
this.
one.
Because that's because
I
of
like
the
this
Cubs.
question.
What if
Yeah.
Counsell gets fired and his bench coach, ends up winning the
If
title?
Quentin Berry wins one,
Yeah.
I'll also still be kind of
I
pissed.
think, but I think I don't. Yeah, I love Q.
First of all,
I don't
Counsell
have,
ain't getting
I don't
fired.
have the emotional connection to a coach that I do a player, so it might be honest for me over Counsell.
That's what.
But the thing is, I don't want the Cubs to win.
That's
it's
but
more-
that's
that's
the
the
layers.
backdrop
Like
that's
you
worse.
don't hate the Heat with anything near what you
Yeah.
hate the
No.
Cubs.
I just
Hey,
don't
but-
feel that type of hatred to a coach versus hatred's the wrong word. Pain that I feel to a player. I think it would. I want to win. This is selfish, but I want to now ensure Giannis's legacy is primarily with the Bucks as a Bucks great player.
I get that.
And Kareem's became a Laker because of all the things he did as a Laker. And I don't, if Giannis goes to win one or two at the Heat, And if he's remembered more as a Heat player, I don't want that. I want him to be remembered as a great Buck.
Those Laker teams were pretty stacked, though, right? I mean, the Heat aren't the automatic favorite to win the East now, are they? With the Knicks and the Celtics,
they're even close.
Pacers coming back.
Cavs.
It's a wide open East. That's the advantage they have. Is there's a more parity in the East.
Doubt the Knicks repeat chances at your own peril.
Okay.
There's
Celtics,
an absolute wagon in there in the Knicks.
Pacers coming back off the mat with Halliburton back.
Brooklyn's got Julius Randle now. All right.
Yeah, who knows? And those 5 first-round picks they
forgot
took
about that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. What a day. I mean, what will you remember most? Just the title, or to me, it's the whole Buddy the Elf thing when he came and he was just, he learned to drive here. And
true.
For the first time, I try a smoothie. God bless America.
God bless America.
I discovered pancakes.
He was the first World Cup fan.
Yeah.
Going around to every you guys tried this Raisin Canes?
Yeah.
This is amazing. You guys are missing out on this
exactly.
place.
It's a collection of moments, isn't
when he did
pancakes. Obviously the ring is the obvious, but I'll never forget the thing that he I think it was Steve Croft, 60 Minutes came to town and did a feature on Giannis. I'm sure it still lives on YouTube.
Awesome.
And just the amazing things he had to say about our city, about how much he loved Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to change. I don't know if he'll keep a residence here or what the connection
Armen
will
and I
be,
were
but-
talking about that
We
off
were-
the air.
we were
Like,
arguing about
I
it,
think Tyler Hero should just buy the house, and he's got a
Right.
mother-in-law suite and got a babysitter. It's an in-ground pool. It's got a basketball court. A gym.
Yeah, Tyler's already moved the family. I think they'll be all good. They're all set up.
Tyler
already.
they'll just move back into the homestead, the family homestead, right?
There's a couple of great spots. Falcon Glen's got a couple of great spots
There you
right
go.
here right now. Foxwood Crossing has a couple of great houses.
I mean, you love
available
what
in
you know, and he knows that area.
I think it might take time, and I don't think it'll be near future, but excuse me. I just don't think he'll have zero connection with the city again. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm just hoping. But it's hard for me to believe that Giannis won't show up as
What's he
time
gonna
goes
do?
on in his
Like
life.
be a,
What the
next time they need a new stadium? Will he come back and help?
click it or ticket
Maybe.
like commercials like Donald Driver?
I think he's got. I mean,
I
what
don't
you
know.
mean.
I mean, he maybe. I mean, what do any retired players do? If they're part of. I'm not saying he'll live here full
Well,
time.
he'll be back for the statue dedication. What else? There's probably other things that are gonna
retirement,
happen.
and he'll end up. I firmly believe he'll end up with some kind of ownership stake in some NBA team. It'll.
He already owns a
It'll
couple.
depend on if it'll end up
owns a
being the
couple
Brewers.
buildings here. He owns a building in the third ward.
I'm saying he has connections. I mean,
That doesn't. He owns.
roots.
He owns properties in New
Yeah.
York too. He's buying real estate. It's part of his portfolio. He wants to be a billionaire.
I'm sure
he's going to get there.
Right, and they'll live in Greece, and he'll be in a lot of places. But
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that
he'll
he'll have
be-
zero connection, I don't know. I would.
Yeah. When he's done playing, I think he's moving to Greece.
Oh, I agree with that full
So,
time.
yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't keep a house and be here a couple times a year to do something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Armen, you're being a cockeyed optimist.
I'm hoping, maybe. I'm hoping. Yeah.
At Rogers' house,
No, he moved to Miami to move to Florida.
Yeah,
Like, that's
for now. But does that mean
That's
he'll
not
never,
a for now. You don't move to Florida then can come back.
Yeah, I mean, how
You
many
think
people?
he'll never
What
be
you
back?
do when you move to Florida is then you bitch when you come back of, oh my God, we need it to be warmer. I just left 90 degrees and I came back here and it's 50
Wow.
after Easter.
I'm not saying year round. I'm not saying he'll never be back, though. I think he'll be back. And I don't know how you think he'll live in Greece and he'll probably have.
I think
places.
I think he made this decision because he wants to go
Miami.
live in Florida too. I think he wants to go live in Miami.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, that
Milwaukee's
you
a
can
tough
do that
market,
any,
obviously.
yeah.
You can
And-
do that anytime when you're not playing.
People have been complaining about the small market thing, but in the league, the Bucks could still like offer him like $275, right? That's
they could all.
it's not a money thing, but I've
That's a life
talked at
thing.
length with Jim McElvain about this, about how it's always going to be there are attractive markets in the NBA, and then there's Milwaukee and Sacramento and Oklahoma City, and they're winning now.
Cleveland, yeah.
And Cleveland, where you're up against it, where you don't have the glitz, and like people want to go to Phoenix, LA, New York,
Atlanta for obvious reasons.
Atlanta, and
Damn right,
that's just
Dolph.
it. There
Damn
are
right.
there are attractive markets and there are unattractive markets.
Well,
We're
and
an
it's-
unattractive market. The only way to get a superstar like Giannis basically is to draft him.
Yeah.
and hit the
Develop him
lottery.
through.
It's true.
100%.
It's true.
Lottery
I mean,
in the draft.
you're right, though. It's not baseball. It's not like with the Brewers, we know, oh, that guy's gone. You know, there's no way they're keeping Corbin Burns. There's no way they're keeping these guys because it's baseball. It's just different rules. The Bucks certainly could have paid him.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And they paid him a lot of money.
And it
They paid
wasn't
him a lot of money.
It
over
wasn't
the last year.
money or market size because we know that it was again like and I still say Giannis. People say he was two-faced and he was lying. He wanted it both ways. He always said, "I want to be in Milwaukee. I want to compete for a championship." Two things, and they were mutually exclusive this year.
You know, they
you
tried.
can't stay in Milwaukee and compete for a championship because he It just
This
wasn't
year.
going to work.
Right. Well, again,
It
but
just
if
wasn't going to work.
yeah, it'd be a large portion, some of your own doing, right? I mean, like the Bucks were not the sole reason why they were uncompetitive. There was a lot of pressure for a lot of years, and you continue to try make the man happy. And at the
They
end of the
did
day, it didn't
everything
work.
they
That's just
could.
it. And probably to a fault for too long with the Dame deal and everything
But they
else.
did it for a while. I don't think that this was something that he never felt happy. Like he was happy for a long time, and then the era that he was loving and grew accustomed to, and the culture and the team that he had and his brothers, those things all left. Those things all ended, and that's why his.
But the
and then
league is set
the
up
doc
for you
was
to
the
be
nail in the coffin.
competitive in a 5-year window, basically, right? Which
and probably even less now.
Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
the
probably
way
even
it's
less
turning
now.
over,
Yeah.
like you said, we'll see what the
Windy.
Knicks do.
Chris Middleton, now a name that has been linked to the Miami Heat. Oh my God! Yeah, they're very much
Put
very
the band
serious.
together.
That's definitely
Gee,
going to happen.
Aaron Rodgers wanted Alan Lazard.
It's the Heatles again,
It's gonna
Billy.
totally
What's the
work.
last thing Giannis retweeted? It was a video of him and his guys in the locker room from like 68 years ago, having fun, enjoying the
Right.
young moments. He's nostalgic for that team, for those moments, for that culture again. He's going to try and find it. I don't think he will again, but he'll probably bring Middleton back and all those things. That's the type of person he is. That's why I think one day he's going to be nostalgic to be like, I want to spend more time in Milwaukee. There, I said it again.
There you
One
go.
day he'll be
I don't
back.
think he will, Armin. But
Let us know when that
keep
happens.
dreaming, Armin. Keep dreaming. Yeah, you'll see him at Cops. Dolph, thanks for popping in. What
All
a
right,
day
boys.
we're having here. It's just crazy.
All right.
Otherwise, we'd be talking about Brandon Woodruff, 10 strikeouts and 6.
Which he deserves.
Perfect game into the sixth. All right,
Mhm.
Armin, one more for Green Day. How about time of your life?
Good
You already did that?
riddance.
Okay.
I already played it.
All right, got it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
always one step ahead
End
of
of
me.
the road. Thanks, Dolph.
Thanks, boys.
You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this Tuesday. If you're just waking up, Bucks made the move. Giannis is taking his talents to South Beach. 877-794-1973. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Billy, who's hot and who's not?
Armen's hot with that last one. I forgot the wind part of that song. I did forget the wind setting it off and let it burn. That's a different hit.
Oh, this was the one, man.
Yeah,
this one hit you right there.
Man, she didn't hit you back on AIM.
No.
This song blasted.
She
You
didn't
already knew
two-way
it.
you.
And then I was very much not hot. Who's hot? Who's not? Last night pitching was hot in Cincinnati. Brandon Woodruff, 16 up, 16 down. We touched on it. One base runner reaches against Woody and 79 pitches, Drew. 10 Ks. They said 21st game in his career of 10 plus strikeouts. And the first time since almost to the day last year when Jacob Mizrowski went the longest somebody had gone into the sixth inning perfect for the Brewers since Miz did it in just his second start in the big leagues against the Minnesota Twins. That was a phenomenal one last night from Brandon Woodruff. And let's give him a round of applause. I'm going to put Joey Ortiz in the hot category for delivering the big hit last night. Well, big swing. Sack fly. The most small market rally of all time and victory that you can have. You win the game and you plate 2 runs in the top half of the 10th inning, Drew, without even getting a hit.
Way to go, Joey. You never gave up.
That is a Milwaukee Brewers rally and a victory last night. That 2-1 final, that was phenomenal. And a heck of a way to be able to go to bed, because that was a desperate to put to bed the tough losses that you had a couple of days ago. I appreciated that. That felt like a sneaky big win in the middle of June to be able to put to bed what you had in Atlanta earlier on this weekend. Also, now, Armen, you might be able to make sure that I'm not mispronouncing the Springfield, Illinois 23-year-old native for your Chicago White Sox, Sam Antonacci.
That's fine. That's fine.
I just don't want to upset all the folks at Bueno's and at Portillo's. Everybody waking up to an Italian beef sandwich today.
At Pete Quad's Pizza.
My man delivered the big game winner last night for the White Sox. He had 3 ribbies and a 9th inning walk-off base hit, and the Southsiders celebrated again as they battle for first place against the Guardians this weekend. 6-5, the final. That's who's hot, who's not. Who's not hot?
Michigan basketball.
Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is not hot. Ward Manuel, not hot. Michigan AD as Dusty May leaves for the Dallas Mavericks. Who's hot? Masai Ujiri. He thought that he was maybe going to always be able to bring Giannis up to Toronto. Instead, he brings Dusty May out of Ann Arbor. That was a shocking development yesterday. And it was broken by none other than the Michigan man himself, Adam Schefter, who finds himself in the hot category. Who's hot, who's not, with Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Go to DonovanJorgensen.com. Drew, they got 4 locations that they can help you out in.
The first Shams bomb of the day yesterday was Dusty May.
Was the Dusty May one. And again, Schefter broke it.
Yeah.
Come on.
We all did a psych when we saw that alert.
Yeah, my buddy, the Wolverines fan, is really
going through it a little bit.
Through it.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Then there were rumors that they were going to go after Greg Gard. Maybe chuckle.
I love that.
Goodness.
Please
all right,
do.
You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Giannis saga and the Giannis era is over. Late last night, the Bucks agreed to send their singular superstar of their second championship era to the Miami Heat for this year's number 13 overall pick, 2 future first-rounders, a second-rounder, as well as Whitnell High School's Tyler Hero and 3 other NBA players. Here's ESPN's Shams Sharani as the news was breaking.
This was a 13-month trade saga for Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Just to put it plainly, Giannis felt like his time was up a calendar year ago. The Bucks at every turn did everything they could to try to keep him.
The Bucks are also sending Bobby Portis to Miami with Giannis, but it's finally over. Giannis, like LeBron before him, is taking his talents to South Beach. To baseball, it was a scoreless duel until extras for the Brewers in Cincinnati. They played 2. The Reds get 1. That's how it ended, 2-1. The Brewers take game 1 over Cincinnati. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy got to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a Tuesday, a historic Tuesday. In the good land, it's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube for you early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths, and 5 o'clock clubbers, and Bucks fans working through their grief.
Big time this morning.
Trying to be optimistic, trying to think about, well, it's all for the best. It was a great run. Let's remember the good times and brace ourselves for what might be some rough times.
Yeah, brace yourself for what might be a little bit more B Milwaukee time. We're going to find some new catchphrases, some new T-shirts to throw out on those great T-shirts that happen for every 3-pointer. It's not a day, Drew, where you wake up and your 9-year-old who immediately goes and throws on a Bucks jersey and a Giannis jersey and dominates out in the backyard. Where you say, yeah, we traded the favorite player. What do we get? Well, we got a couple of guys that were on a 43-win team that lost in the play-in to the Hornets. But you know what? We got 3 picks, and a couple of them you're going to be in high school when you ultimately take them. It's a tough package to wrap your mind around, but NBA trades are difficult. They're difficult to weave around. However, the Bucks got the best that they probably could out of it at the end of the day. I was a fan of the Jaylen Brown one. I guess I'm a fan of this one. Drew, I'm not a fan of losing your favorite player or the best player in franchise history. One of the most impactful athletes in the state's history. But it had to happen, and now you start building forward. I'm glad the draft's tonight so you can quickly pivot to what's next, and Bucks fans can kind of do a little bit of the same.
Can you win a trade when you are sending the best player in the trade? Like, that makes it very difficult to win.
You
a
can't
trade.
the morning after.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a divorce settlement.
But
right?
it's someone mentioned like the Hader trade, which begot Contreras. Ended up being a pretty good deal for the Brewers.
It could end up being good for your team.
The spinoff now it was like second generation.
Yeah. Oh, that was a win. And now you're seeing Robert Gasser come through here. But like the morning after, I don't know that you can. You absolutely can win it, right? And you see it with Oklahoma City. They did it to the nth degree with the Paul George deal. But that was one where he demanded he was going to go one place. It was quiet, and they got everything they possibly could out of the Clippers. This one, the Heat have been the destination for seemingly over a year now, and you got everything possible out of it. I commend John Horst and company, but it's not a day that anybody was hoping to be able to see, even though you knew it probably was happening.
It's the best way to put it. You don't want it to be here. You don't want it to come, but it's almost like a divorce settlement. You have to get what you can in the midst of a sad situation and for many Bucks fans, a depressing situation that marked the end of something that for a long time was a great, beautiful, transformative thing that changed us seismically as sports fans, the transformed the city and brought us the ultimate prize. One that we probably, if we're being honest, many of us thought might never happen. And when it did, we were lifted to the heavens. And it's something we'll never forget, and it's, you have to be grateful for that moment, because you're not looking at a day like today as what could have been, what should have been, and lost hopes, lost dreams, and a moment that was there but never reached. We reached it, and he reached it and got it for us, and we'll always have that memory. Hope that he could last forever as a Buck, and it's just not to be. So this was the reality, the best you could do.
877-794-1973. It was 8 years ago that the Brewers played for the right to go to the World Series, lost to the Dodgers 2018. It was 5 years ago that the Bucks played in the championship. The Brewers have two players from the 2018 team on the squad today. One of them pitched a great game last night. Brandon Woodruff, Christian Yelich. The Bucks have zero.
Yeah.
Things change quickly, right?
Like 8 years is not, you can, to me, it's a blink of an eye, but 8 years is a relatively long time, especially in sports. 5 years as well, but no Bucks left from the championship team.
And Drew, like you keep saying that, and I think the funny part of it is you could very easily argue one of the reasons why you're here is because it took you so long to start dismantling that team.
No doubt.
Right? Like, I mean, in the wake of it, if you could have sold high and you have the callous soul to be able to trade a lot of guys off at their absolute peak, maybe you don't get to this point and you have a little bit more to be able to, and you have more ammunition to continue to fire. But I think the Chris Middleton one, everybody's pointing back to the Dame one. I still think the Middleton trade is another piece of this situation that it was a massive line of demarcation. You knew that you were at some point going to have to break the pair up. Everybody knew that it was going to potentially happen, but maybe you waited a little too long and you had to do it for almost a salary eat of Kyle Kuzma, and you traded who you ended up drafting in the first round. I don't know. AJ Johnson was going to be great, but he was a 19-year-old at that time that you had some kind of promise to. The feeling and the difficulty of breaking up that core. Even Bobby Portis, who ends up being a throw-in, I feel like Bucks fans have been grappling with that for the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
Wondering if he was going to get traded, and they ended up not pulling the trigger and continue to extend. Maybe if they would have broke that team up earlier, Drew, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. You would have had more of a base to be a legit competitor.
The year after the Bucks won the title, they lost conference semis to the Celtics in 7.
Which you were up 3-2 with a home game to clinch.
And the next year they lost to the Heat in 5. That was the Jimmy Butler game, which begat the Dame Lillard trade because they needed to do something because they couldn't keep running it back. So they had to get rid of
Drew Holiday. Just got torched.
Drew Holiday got torched by Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler's maybe he's one of the seminal figures in Bucks history, because that series when they roadhoused them.
Oh yeah,
4-1.
And the Bucks had leads in all those games. It was almost like Spurs and Knicks feel to it.
And then
as
they lost.
As an 8-1 seed, that was the thing that was most painful about it. The Bucks were the top.
But the
seed.
thing was, we could say, well, they should have torn it down. But then the Bucks, after they won the title, they went 51 wins, 58 wins.
They won a lot of
49,
games.
48, and then last year 32.
Which is why they rode it. I mean, which is why they tried to get it back on the horse and ride. And I can't blame them for it. I think we all wanted them to try and win in those moments, not tear down 58-win teams. So it was just unfortunate occurrences, injuries, obviously, health, and the playoffs that eventually did them in. When Jimmy Butler did that to the Bucks and did it to Drew Holiday, that's when you saw the blood of this team. Really, I think for the most stark time to say, wow, this might be it. And then for this run, and then the Damian Lillard was that last gas of hope. Like, we got another star. We've been waiting for this. It was Dame. Just didn't work out. Health, all those things. But I think,
and Giannis's health to a large portion of it.
Huge,
like that's
huge
the other that's the one in here where, like, blame is always, people want to assign blame in the situation. I don't know that anybody deserves blame in the situation. The Bucks paid Giannis a ton of money and did everything possible while he was here to remain competitive. And it's to no fault of Giannis that he had tendonitis in the Achilles.
Agree.
And ended up missing a series. You mentioned the Heat in 5 series. That's another brutal one to think of, because if you remember the process of it, he goes down in the second quarter of game 1. And I believe it was his now teammate Bam Adebayo who kind of undercut, got a little bit of a shove, a little bit of a push. He lands on the back and basically plays 2 games of that series that you get beat. You could very easily continually convince yourself of running it back, because you didn't get outside of that 21 or 22 year where Chris Middleton was clearly hurt. And I think he missed the entire time of it.
Yeah.
You hadn't had your full complement of guys since 2021, but that's what winning the NBA title is now.
Yes.
It's not always the best team. It's the healthiest one. And I think Exhibit A was the 2 teams we just watched in the finals this year.
Great point, Billy. Great observation. The Bucks were never fully healthy after they won the title for those playoff
the Bucks
runs.
The year before they won the title. Yeah, that was the 4-1 when they lost to the Heat, right? They lost to the Heat the year before.
Yep, in the bubble.
In the
yes,
bubble,
in
yes.
the second round
In
of the bubble. Yep.
They lost to the Heat. And then coming out of that, they lost to the Heat again 2 years later after the title.
Well, and that was why sweeping them the year you won the title, it felt like, all right, we put that demon behind
We
us.
finally
Put
slayed
that,
the dragon.
we put that Miami one behind us. Now we don't have to worry about it anymore.
But then after they puked away that series against the Celtics, they lost to the Heat the next year again. And it's like, so.
But that's what has a lot of fans always going to want more. And start with the Raptors series. How close you were to the finals. Saying to yourself, you felt like you might have had the best team in basketball 3 or 4 times. And through circumstance, injury, or lack of performance, couldn't get it done, except for the year you did. And you'll always have that, and you're grateful for it. But that will always be, for some, the what hurts the most is, could we have gotten more out of that empire? Could that have been a stronger run?
As we've looked at this in all different ways, Drew, I don't remember it cleanly. I don't know if you do. Where is there a package last off season that you can think of that would have been markedly better if they would have moved off of him a year earlier? Because the Rodgers one, where after the 21 season, you kind of had a package right there of what Russell Wilson went for to Denver.
Right.
Like, all right, if you would have taken that, geez, you could have been the Seahawks in 3 years.
Yeah.
And now they're enjoying it, doing a dance with a
Yeah.
trophy.
Well,
I don't remember that package where you'll think back more, wistfully if you would have bit the bullet and done it a year earlier. I don't know that one was clean from a year ago.
Again, like everything got warped because then the Bridges trade happened, and it's like, well, the whole industry is like, well, we're not making those deals anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going 5 first rounders for a guy like the Jay Crowder pickup.
Yeah, like the Cat deal that was rumored to be the one to New York. I don't know anybody was enticed by that or wanted to do that. Even with what we just watched in the finals, I don't know anybody's thinking he's doing that without Jalen Brunson.
Right. Well, we do have the one positive look at it. Go Pack Go 1000 said, hey, it was a solid haul compared to the Luka trade. That's true. We did do better than that.
Better haul than the Luka trade.
Let's
Good
go.
point. Yes.
All right, I like that one.
Nice.
But it was also, circumstances worked against the Bucks. When the second apron got introduced, I think that changed the market of the NBA from getting these mega hauls, the Desmond Bain, the Rudy Gobert 5-4, the Bridges you talk about. You're right. If you traded Giannis in that market, what could have been, we can only imagine. But you also had a prime Giannis. So I don't think it's an easy sell to say why trade him.
Yeah, it's also, really deep into the weeds parts of it. Of the Bucks were always like a year behind on what the financial deal ended up being, right? In 2022, the new CBA came in. They instituted the first and the second aprons that you hear so much about. The Bucks were built to win in the NBA climate of the previous CBA, where you could just unload a bunch of cash and continue to buy yourself into the tax and buy more years with great players like the Warriors did. And after they won it, that changed, and the Bucks were into that second apron, and it really, really did start to hamstring them. And I think more teams are realizing they're kind of living proof. You just can't do that to yourself. Jeff in Pittsburgh, perhaps time will heal things. But when the top seed Heat beat the Bucks in round 1, he's going to get booed. Leaving is one thing, but forcing to a rival is another. And he can't act surprised and expect the same kind of love. Join the Favre and Council Therapy Group. He's in Denver or whatever, Golden State. That's different. But maybe down the road, I'll get over it. He'll never quite be the same again. Maybe that's just because built up everything that he was totally different and nobody could do that, but it's the way it is nonetheless.
Well, I think a lot of fans share the sentiment that he has, that there was a little bit of the luster lost on Giannis the last year in terms of what we thought. And the biggest reason, besides of his fantastic play and accomplishments, what he did, that people loved him, is he was the embodiment in a lot of ways. I think people saw themselves in this state and in this city as someone that achieved against all odds through the sheer force of will and hard work and didn't sell his soul in the process. Whether or not you believe that happened in the last year is up for debate. What the definition of that is up for debate. But he definitely tried to not make it sound like that, right? I mean, there was a concerted effort by him, I would say, curated carefully to say, it wasn't me that wanted out. I'm going to take pictures at the zoo. We're at South Shore Park. We're at the lake.
Look at how much I love Milwaukee.
I love you guys. So that's always going to be part of it. But I will say this, in my experience, time heals all. I think for almost every situation. It did in our Brett Favre situation. I suspect it will in this case. Obviously, as years goes by, Kareem was welcomed back. All these things, it'll hurt for a while. And I think what he does in Miami will have part of the factor there. But what did he say? We're going to lose. We're going to play them in round 1. We're making the playoffs. Oh, I didn't suspect that. Hey, we're making the playoffs next year.
5 games out of the play-in this year.
Maybe tickets won't be as cheap as somebody said. Here's the positive: tickets will be cheaper. Someone said that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a case.
That was Mike Witt.
Pick is going to be into a different spot. It's going to be a different beast on SeatGeek. Rolling in here. Justin in Jacksonville said, guys, moving on from Rodgers after the 22 season was easier because he had a down year. It looked like his best years were behind him. Favre had one of his best seasons in 2007, which made it tough. So from that line of thinking, this is easier because he did have, again, while on the floor, Drew, his numbers were phenomenal.
Yeah.
But this was his down year, right? The injury. I mean, you're right, Billy.
But I mean, you're talking about he had like 3 or 4 different injuries too. Like it wasn't just one that was a nagging injury throughout.
True, yeah.
That's a tough one to be able to put aside, and maybe it is make it a little bit easier. But you asked Drew, can you win the trade this morning? Jake in Belgium answers. It was always rumors, but now it happened. Think we won the trade. Thanks, Giannis, for the memories on the championship in 21. So there's somebody out here that thinks that maybe you can. Do you believe you possibly can the morning after?
Not today.
No.
When you're sending the best player away, you can't win because you again. But I can't conceive of a way that you'd say, "Oh, we got value," or "We want to trade for Giannis." Like, what could you possibly get back? Like,
unless all of a sudden in 2031 we're sitting there doing this show and celebrating our.
Well, we're getting closer.
6th year anniversary.
Yeah, 4 years from Geezer Palooza.
That's true. We'll be right. We'll be right there.
So we'll
be making the full plans for it.
The 6th year anniversary of the Huddle.
And then all of a sudden you're watching the NBA draft lottery and they put up the Miami logo and then they swap that card out and they put a Bucks one there and you got 2 lottery picks and all of a sudden you win the draft lottery. Maybe that's how you do.
Maybe that's how.
But that'll be like even better than just finding $100 in your pocket. Those draft picks are gonna feel like found money though. At that point, it's gonna be so long down the road, you're almost gonna forget about
like your 401k. You're glad you did it when you
did it.
It was tough in the moment, but you're glad it's there now. What do you think about this, Drew? I don't know about this, but Eddie in Dallas, you're getting a little emotional. Maybe he said Cole is rolling in his grave right now.
Nah. He was a businessman.
He was the one that made trades.
When you're in it so long.
Yeah.
Well, who owned the team when Ray Allen was traded?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a good JJ Redick. Hello. I mean,
no, yeah. Herb Cole was a mover and shaker. He was making moves.
I mean,
that being said, it does remind me that I'm grateful that he was around to get his ring and for all those moments that, he put into it. So that part was good. I don't know if I feel the whole Herb Cole is rolling in his grave. Like, there's a lot of this is people are angry at Jimmy Haslam. I mean, yes,
these wheels were in motion before Jimmy Haslam.
Yeah, I don't see this being a Jimmy Haslam. Like I see everything that people are upset about. It's like, well, it's Jimmy Haslam's fault.
The Dame trade was the Hail Mary, and as it turns out, that was their last ditch.
Yeah, and I think
chance to try to, and it worked. They got Giannis to sign an extension, right?
I was going to say, Drew, I think the one person that was advocating for it is the one that ended up signing the extension.
Yeah,
right. Like, I mean, and at that point, it did its job.
So, but then again. Did they try? I'm sure they tried, but they kicked the tires. Like, hey, Giannis, what if we brought in Ja? What if we traded for Ja? What if we had traded for?
John Horst wanted that.
So he was already. So then it became like, well, there's nothing you guys can do.
It sounds like that was
it
put
kind of
out
like,
there.
no, it's like, no, we tried this. And like, I like Taylor Jenkins, but like, okay, we're going to trade for Ja and we'll get one other piece and then we'll try to run it,
Like when you're trying to explain
these
to the
young
girl,
guys.
Yeah, it sounds like that was put in front of him, and he kind of cleanly said no, according to the Shams report, which again makes sense.
Giannis is leaving the nest. Kids leave home eventually.
They move on.
They move on.
It's
Now-
just tough to process, but yes, that's reality.
Will there be? So Armen, we were talking about wistfully believing that he could come back and live here at some point.
I don't mean full time, but hang
you
out.
What about
talked
the
about-
Dame return?
You talked about,
Right? I mean, 2 years later, all of a sudden he's back in Portland at some particular point. Something
Yeah.
doesn't go well in 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden we get those draft picks.
We talked
If there
about,
was one guy that might really quick, if there was one guy that might look back and reminisce and have a change of heart and realize
And 37 years old,
maybe
wants
this
to go
one-
ring chase with the number 1 overall pick.
maybe this
Come
wasn't
on.
all it is, and there's nothing going to replace that Milwaukee memory. Maybe he's the one guy to maybe feel that. I don't know. I just
I'm
this is
gonna
hoping
let
it's
him
over.
hold on. Let
It's
Joe let
over,
him.
Armen.
Yeah.
Don't text her back. It's over. All I say, I get it. Yeah.
it's over. 877-794-1973. Who's our current electric superhero of the day? Oh, and by the way, when you talk about, tickets will be cheaper, it'd be easier to get Bucks tickets this year. Will it? I mean, last year there was a lot of them floating around, secondary
a lot of them
market.
flown around last year. Yeah.
But when the Heat visits Milwaukee, that ticket's going to be tough to get.
Oh yeah,
when
that
Giannis comes back.
that one will be tough.
That is the ticket of the season.
Yeah, that one will be tough. When they play the other 30 or 40 home games, I don't anticipate it being all that difficult.
But the
to
Heat
find
coming to
yourself in
town
there.
will
Yeah.
be
That'll be a good one. That'll be a hot
especially the
ticket.
first time will be the event.
Will it be what?
Just like when Rodgers came back, or when Favre came back to face Rodgers, right? When that
Yeah. Now that one was contentious.
time.
What will
Big
this
time.
one be?
more of a celebration, more
Full
of a thank you,
celebration.
full
Will there
on,
be any smattering of
3 minutes of video that gets him crying?
Will there be any frustrated fans that you can hear?
No.
Audio ones in there?
They'll be drowned out. No, they're going to be drowned out.
Yeah, I would hope so.
They're going to be drowned out.
But I think the little bit of the fan opinion is.
In fact, how
swayable.
about shouldn't they? If you're the NBA, let them open the season. The Heat playing in Milwaukee.
No, we need to hold that one off because Drew, again, the Bucks are going to need to sell tickets in the middle of January. So they're going to have to build to this one a little bit. They're going to have to build this one. And we already know you're going to get a good one for opening night. Just do it on Saturday. Then we're into that spot now where you're going to have to start strategically planning and hoping that you're getting better dates to be able to fill that place up.
I'll tell you something. If when Giannis comes back and he gets the welcome back and the video, we got to get something from him. If I don't get any tears or emotion from him, I'm going to be
you'll
heartbroken.
have a lot of emotions.
I'm going to be heartbroken. So it's going to be on the Fiserv crowd incumbent to not stop cheering and clapping until he gives you something. You don't let up. Do not just end the ovation. You got to keep it going. You got to make him do something because I need that now. I need to know that it mattered to him a little bit. And I think we do, but it's just like, well, he showed it. I don't know. Hey, don't forget about Cormac Ryan. That's what
Cormac Ryan's there. You're a current
Okay.
electric superhero of the day. Call current.com. Call current.com if you're looking to try to, I don't know, maybe have your house make you some money with a solar panel up on your roof, or if you just have any electrical needs, call current.com. Easy one, Drew. It's easy. It's Brandon Woodruff off the night he had last night. Returning off the mat. Hadn't pitched since what, the 30th of April, I think they said. And he comes up 16 up, 16 down, 6 innings, 1 base runner allowed, 10 Ks. Maybe the best part is, Drew, only 79 pitches. And I don't know exactly how they're going to move this thing around, but Pat Murphy said yesterday to the assembled media there at Great American Small Park that they'll go back to a 5-man rotation. We were talking about it with Hunter the other day as to how they'll move this thing around coming up for the weekend series against the Cubs. Still slated Mizorowski, Gasser, Woodruff. I think they might move that bad boy around. It might be Mizorowski, Harrison, Woodruff, and that playoff rotation might be rolling itself forward because Woody was on one last night, and I think made everybody start fantasizing and believing again. Yeah, because you do have to believe it that he'll be healthy come playoff time, and if he is, look out. Call current.com. They're the superheroes that you need. They're amongst us. They'll help you out with all of your electrical needs at callcurrent.com.
All right. 877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. You're in the huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. It's the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Bill Schmidt, Armen Sarian the day after.
Billy didn't like that. I see. Right. It seems too celebratory. No, I'm not happy about it. But this probably was a bad choice.
Here's one for you. The trade was announced. Well, hasn't been announced officially, but broken by Shams at about 11 o'clock last night, right?
Mm-hmm. Perfect timing for us.
And plenty of folks were asleep. Many just waking up right now. But Giannis posted a cryptic Instagram post around 3 or 4 o'clock.
That's when you had to think he knew what was happening.
He knew what was happening. He was
flying
back.
Saw the back of his jersey.
That is when you knew, he knew something was up, right? That was so. Then, I guess it took 7 hours for them to figure it out for it to finally be broken.
Yeah, and for Shams to finally get the text that it was the okay to be able to go and send it out.
At one point, Kyle Kuzma said a big announcement was coming up.
Yeah, and I kind of thought he was. Well, they said he was going to be a tax. I thought
he was going to be thrown in, but he kind of buckled at that. He's like, "What? Yeah, throw in."
Maybe he was tipped off to the fact that he was going to be a starter here, or he's going to back up Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, he believes in himself. That's one thing we know about
a 6'9" wing that guards 1 through 5 that cares about defense that shot over 50% last year. A throw in? What?
Throw in?
Come on now.
Yeah. 877-794-1973. Great reactions on both the stream and the talk and text line today.
A lot of great reactions. A lot of fans going through the emotions as we all are. Eddie and Salas, Jimmy Haslam can pound sand, blank those draft picks. He's really going through it, obviously. And then there were some that are more positive about it. That, hey, listen, this was the way it had to be. Bucks had, pretty decent return on this. So it's a couple ways to look at it and ways to process it, as we all will be doing.
We're worldwide today. Big audience today. We appreciate everybody out there. But from California, unnamed in California, Bucks win the trade within 3 seasons, even though it looks like Miami did right now.
All right, there we go. Come on.
The positivity.
What you got to hope for?
It's going to take longer than 3 seasons to get those picks, though, right?
But that's where a lot of these teams sit in, right? Like Oklahoma City, obviously they've got great players right now with 3 guys that have been all NBA. But the excitement is the fact that they still have all of these picks, right? Like in San Antonio is the same way.
Yeah.
They're right in the beginning of it. I don't know how the new lottery rules will manipulate what you can ultimately do on picks that you have acquired and how that will limit how high you can pick and how many consecutive years you can have those picks. But they're in a spot where in a couple of years, even if Khalil Ware is a legit player, if Jakob Chunas ends up being a guy, or whoever they end up taking tonight, whether it's Nate Ament, who they have been seemingly locked to at 10 and go at 13, or if they move up and grab a Mikal Brown Jr. or a Darius Acuff, there are some guys now that you would think to in 3 years. If you're starting to see the superstar potential, you'll feel a lot better about it. You'll allow yourself a chance to fantasize there, and maybe Ware is the best opportunity at it from the guys that are here right now. I think Jaquez is kind of a known quantity, good player, better than I had anticipated, and there should be more room for these guys to be able to flourish, right? Giannis, 31 years old, took that step right around 23, 24, but Jalen Brunson was thought to be a known quantity, and then he had his superstar leap right around 25, 26, 27.
Guys develop at different times, and Giannis is a good example of that. You have a guy like Wemby who right away burst on the scene, the LeBrons of the world, but it did take Giannis a few years to come into his own, to find his identity, to find what he was going to be in this league. Remember when he was a rookie, we all kind of looked at him like that Durant type of thing. Kind of had that body type, athletic. Maybe he can become a shooter. Will he be like a Durant? He became more of a strength guy, power, explosiveness, and that's where he makes his legend. So it's really hard to project these guys in the future, and sometimes patience is necessary. And I would agree with you. Brewer Mike chiming in. Good morning, boys. What do you guys think about this? Good morning, boys. Milwaukee's the minor league for stars. Yount is the only one that was loyal. I mean, it's a couple ways to look at that. It's true that he played his whole career here, right?
Yeah.
Christian Yelich, an MVP that chose to stay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys.
Ryan Braun, clearly.
Yeah.
Now Braun, he wants something else. He was like, I'm definitely taking that next contract. But Yelich is one where, again, he was at the peak of his power there when he ended up signing that deal into free agent or in spring training when he re-upped. I mean, that's
he left some money on the table too, didn't he?
A decent amount, because Trout had just signed Drew for, no, he's not Mike Trout, but Trout had just signed for $435 and Yelich signed for what, $217. coming off of an MVP season. He wasn't going to get that, but he definitely left some money on the table, I would say. Marty and Madison, going to have to change my standard parlay of Giannis over 50 points, rebounds, assists, and Derry Bird more than 4 threes a game. We're going to find a good one, though. We're going to find you a new one, and Khalil Ware rebounds might be a part of that because he's going to eat there on the boards. I'm assuming he's going to get a lot of burn, a lot more than he was getting in Miami.
I had to look it up, but I thought Sidney Moncrief, who was a Bucks star for a decade, was not a one-team guy because he retired and then came back out of retirement and played a year for Atlanta.
Yeah, it was just a little cup of coffee, but he was basically a one-team guy. But he did have that ending part. Yeah.
The legacy is the legacy, like we said, though, because nobody thinks of Brett Favre playing for the Vikings or the Jets. Nobody thinks of Aaron Rodgers playing for the Jets and the Steelers. It's just going to be the way. Will folks think about Giannis as a member of the Heat if he wins a title? But then it's going to be a little bit like Brady is not known as a Buccaneer, even though he won a championship there.
They play the highlights, but you remember where it's
and if you're a Buccaneers fan, he was kind of like the hired gun who came in, got us a title. I don't know that they bonded with him, and he's like, forever a saint there, like Giannis is in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just you can go and you can win a title for a fan base, and it's great, but Giannis is a Buck.
Drew, again,
will always be a Buck.
It's the star. He is the star in Milwaukee. He'll be a star in Miami. They have brought in a lot of stars. They brought in a lot of great guys.
They certainly have over the years.
And it's more of a transactional spot. So I'm with you. He'll always be remembered with this one. But again, it's a if you win a title thing. And there have been a lot of ifs for Giannis over the last year. I'm glad now, if we're doing anything personal side of it, I'm glad for him now that he's going to have the opportunity to go do what he said he wanted to do, just go win another one. Because if there was anybody that was more frustrated watching the finals this year than him, I'd like to know.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to know because the San Antonio Spurs were always a rumored destination. And apparently last year it was the Knicks or bust for him.
And he'll get a chance to find out if he stays healthy. And that's the thing. If moving on, the lure of moving on and trying to attack another title was worth it or not with a team that was going to be gutted by getting him, we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll have a fantastic year and stay healthy and show his talent again and give them a real run. Maybe he won't, but it'll be interesting to see how things go and how he'll reflect on it and how we'll all reflect on it.
It's tough because it's been a little while since I watched the 3-on-3 and the 5-on-5 that they were doing in the super awesome NBA draft combine that I totally knew existed until this year.
Yeah.
Totally knew that.
Totally
knew, Drew, that that was also televised, that you could watch the 3 days if you really wanted to. And I don't necessarily know that I enjoyed it. But from the different guys that you are looking at here tonight, like what position do you think they're ultimately going in? Do you think they're going to go up? Or do you think they're drafting at 10 and 13? The reports were that they were planning on having 2 lottery picks, and that's not a bad little foundation if you're restarting.
I think you got to collect as many as you can. Take as many swings at as you can.
Quantity over quantity.
I'm with you
first.
on it.
Yeah.
And do you think they go, does point guard make sense? Obviously, Rollins and KPJ feel like the best foundational guys that you're rolling with, but seems like a couple of the point guards might be the interesting ones. Mikael Brown has been there. Obviously, Acuff, Keaton Wagler, I think he'll be gone by the time they end up. But now they've got a center to kind of build around, and it feels like they have some guys in the backcourt.
Did they pick up the second rounder in this draft?
In the 2033 draft.
33. So, because there was talk that they were going to get a second rounder in this draft because they don't have one.
Yeah.
So I think the idea that you take these 2 and push up if you really like a guy, but wouldn't you rather have 2 players in the top 13 than 1?
I think you kind of need more.
Kind of have to have more bodies.
And you need more
swings. If you're going to trade, if you're going to spin off a Hero or spin off somebody or Kuzma, or they got options, or Turner.
Do you think they acquire another pick tonight?
Boy. What do they have? What would they deal to get it? Like if they trade Hero and get it.
Last
picked,
2 guys you mentioned, I think, are the easiest ones.
yeah,
I don't
Turner
know.
Or Kuz?
Yeah, I don't know. A Hero trade is easy to do right away. I mean, you've been talking to these teams about what they could be getting, I would think. Yeah,
they tried to make this a 3-team deal, and I think the Heat were trying to say, all right, we'll give you Tyler Hero for this player and these picks, and then we'll flip those to Milwaukee, and that just didn't come together.
Yeah, 100%.
What can you realistically get in that?
Or do you need Tyler Hero to kind of keep things interesting this year with a hometown kid
a
who's
centerpiece,
trying to make an all-star?
To that. Yeah, I think
as Doc said, he's a closer, and he's a guy you can kind of count on for 20 a game.
Well, Doc said it. I mean,
well, and how hilarious would it be if all of a sudden he had his best season back in Milwaukee, and all of a sudden you did want to go and re-sign him into that extension.
Yeah, extend him, and then I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It's a hell of a story. How do Badgers fans feel about this? Because they're predisposed to not like Tyler Hero for picking the Wildcats over the Badgers.
Yeah,
Is their favorite
we had
player.
a comment about that somewhere.
So
did he want to play for UW? So that was.
So now he's back through no choice of his own, but he's back.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's a lot of people that are going to have to be proved to become Tyler Hero fans. I think there's a lot of Wisconsin people that don't want to be fans there. I'm also interested to see who the next guy comes in, because now immediately they got Giannis finally out of Milwaukee. Now they got to try to get another star out of a spot, and it looks like all attention is being paid towards Anthony Edwards. And now that might be the next 3 to 4 years of Anthony Edwards needs to get out of Minneapolis.
He's next,
He needs
right?
to get out of
Let's
Minnesota.
get Jaren Johnson out of.
Let's get all these
Get him
guys
out of Atlanta and come up here.
Let's let everybody else have to deal with what we dealt with the last 10 years. All right, and I'm not even kidding. It's been about 10, maybe 8. Let's let all these other markets have to deal with it now. All right.
I think Malika asking Giannis after 19 was the start of it.
Yeah, poor Chris had to field that question. What was that?
That was
Adversity?
Adversity?
What was the question? Eric from the Prairie, Giannis ran from the grind. Jordan never did this. Bro, come on, Eric. Jordan retired 3 times.
He ran to Birmingham.
He retired 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's running from the grind. I think it would have been easier for Giannis to just coast home the rest of his career, taking max deals and living off his laurels. I can't say he's running from a grind. I don't believe
people in Washington don't remember Jordan with the Wizards.
Jeff in Fitchburg, as a Badger alum, I'll put it bluntly. Hero is a D, but I guess he's ours now. Damn, I'm ornery today. I think there's going to be a lot of ornery cats. A lot of ornery folks here today. That's all good. You can feel all those emotions here today. But then tonight at 7:00, it all starts turning around. 3-3-1. Bucks Nation better see them hit on their draft pick tonight and build that next contender. Let's do it. Come on.
It's been a while,
Come on.
so we're definitely due to get one right. Let's just put it that way.
It can't be any worse than what you've done here last.
This portion of the program been brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, orthowisconsin.com, the website. World-class care right here, close to home. Check them out. Go to the website. Any sports injuries that pop up, any nagging problems with your knee, your hip, your back, your elbows, wrists, whatever it may be, go check out our friends at orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Maybe back to close up shop. A lot of folks need a Drift seltzer to relax today, get some perspective. Some Drift gummies, perhaps. HappyPlaceHemp.com. We'll be waking and baking when we come back. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Shot won't go. Tuck with a rebound. And that'll do it. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
Always have that moment. Always have our Giannis memories. We just don't have Giannis anymore. Number 34 is gone. Welcome back to the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Billy Schmidt, Armen Sarian, closing up shop here. You know, it's Prime Day today. Ooh. But if you're looking for prime sportswear, ironjoc.com is the place. Paulie Hansen's always got good deals going on the best gear you can get anywhere. ironjoc.com is the website. The the lights performance lightweight hoodie is a revelation. You pair that with some joggers, you can go just about anywhere and look cool, whether you're working out or just chilling. So go check out Paulie Hansen. Always great deals at ironjoc.com. I always spin through there and check the clearance aisle. Right now, if you're looking for a tank top
hanging out with Armen,
or one of those jackets, those really cool rain jackets.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yes.
Nice,
those are
nice.
sweet.
Love
They're
that one.
available right now. The performance train jacket available on sale. So check out ironjoc.com. Time for our Wake and Bake story, brought to us by our pals at happyplacehemp.com. And we don't just say that because they are our pals, Rob and Chris.
The best
guys, and making the best CBD products anywhere. Get them for a discount, 25% off with the code Huddle at happyplacehemp.com, and they'll ship for free if you use our code and only our code Huddle. 25% off and free shipping. Billy, what are we waking and baking today?
Well, in Miami last night, it was a celebratory night, late night. However, it actually was a party at Lone Depot Park for the first time since the WBC. Unsuspecting to some, Lone Depot Park was packed last night, not because fans are super jacked up about what the Miami Marlins have done. Now, they maybe should be. Drew, Marlins are over 500. I don't know if anybody knows that. Marlins are over 500.
They're playing decent ball, man.
At 40-39, and they had a raucous crowd last night for a 4-3 against the Rangers because, well, the Scottish fans took over. There were over 8,000 Scotland folks that invaded for a Scottish Heritage Night, with the Scottish fans being there for the World Cup coming up. They said, let's party it up. And this place was absolutely rocking. The band that they brought through did a lap around the warning track. It was the loudest that place has been outside of the WBC, the loudest it's been for a regular season game since they built the place. And yeah, they were rowing it up before the game. They arrived in droves before the game, standing outside, and filled up the place, not because people are starting to get the itch down there in Miami, but because they needed something to do in between the World Cup match. They went to a Fenway Park. They're like, we need a place to party. Let's roll over here to Miami and go to Lone Depot.
First of all, brilliant move by the Miami marketing, whoever was doing ticket marketing, sales. That's a creative way to get some butts in the seats there. And thank you again to the Scottish fans and the European soccer fans for showing Americans how to do it right. You know, you're going to get there, be committed, be excited, be together, be engaged in the process, and making it a fun time to be at a game. And soccer fans have always been good at this. You know, you say what you will about the sport, but I love the way they get after it. And these Scottish fans have been absolutely on one, and it's just great to see. So
they call it the Tartan Army, and they bought over 8,000 tickets last night for the event.
Wish we had a little more of this energy in our crowds in America sometimes. That's all.
I mean, we got a little bit of singing going on at Brewers games. We got the Joey O chants rolling.
I love that. I think we do a good job generally. It was like the old Buckethead Brigade was like that way back in the day. We have our sections, had Squad 6, Sector 7. So it's just pretty cool when you have that type of energy at a game, you know? I love it. And the Marlins definitely probably love that. They sold some tickets.
Magic Johnson with a
oh gosh, what did he tweet?
Did you see?
Oh,
Armen can't see Twitter.
Nah.
Did you see Magic's tweet?
I didn't. I'm excited though.
Magic Johnson with a tweet here for Armen. This is just for Armen.
Okay.
People are going to talk about Giannis, and they should, because he and Jokic are the two best players in the league. But don't sleep on how important the Heat getting Bobby Portis is. Bobby's ability to shoot from three-point line and his toughness will be a major part of the Heat's success.
Actually, controversial to say the two best players in the league are him and Jokic. I mean, that was a very Magic-like tweet, but
it was. It kind of is.
Yeah.
What a Magic tweet right there.
Say about,
come on, give him some love. Give Bobby some love.
What does it say about LeBron, too? It's like,
yeah, right? The two guys that are playing for the Lakers. Oh, Luka might not.
Yeah, I mean,
that one right there.
Wemby, I mean, there was a lot of guys out there. So.
SGA, the back-to-back MVP.
Yeah. By the way,
that's. I knew that was kind of a hot take, and Armen would be like, "Oh, well, it's just Magic."
That was the hottest take he's had in years with the Twitter.
Really is. It's pretty impressive stuff. It's a lot different than my Dodgers won 2-1 last night. Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman each hit home runs.
Home runs help you win in this league.
They are both awesome players and future Hall of Famers.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's
more runs is directly indicative of winning. Stuff like that.
Jules from Milwaukee. Guys, my wife says the best part of the trade is that Thanasis will no longer take up a roster spot with the Bucks.
I liked his energy.
I liked his
crazy.
energy.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss everything.
Yeah. Let's just wait for Miles Hero though. Who knows? Playing over at Ohio State. Maybe he'll be the next guy to be able to fill up one of those spots on the bench.
Badgers taking Nick Boyd today in the draft. How about that? I mean, the Bucks take Nick Boyd.
That'd be amazing.
Oh, it's been a fun day working through this. Thanks for the therapy session. We appreciate it. Tomorrow, Hot Take Hump Day and more. We'll see. We'll be talking about the draft. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Peace.
Good.